Oh, piss.
Sephiroth. Oh wow, where is everybody today?
Attorney and I are at my house. The others, I don't know. Persephone's probably at the FC house, I'm assuming.
You never left.
She never leaves.
It's true.
What is this? What? Luna Aquaria awaits news of her victory before you. What is that? What is that?
It's from
What's
the
that
Fall Guys
emote?
thing, isn't it? You don't know that one? It's a good one. Hold on, I gotta do what I do now. Oh, there it is.
Oh my god, I love that.
Hold on. Yeah, I moved before it was done. Yay!
I love that.
Hello.
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 You are alive and live. You're live
Everything
alive.
is so loud. Okay. I'm all set. I'm not, but...
Waiting on Attorney to get his food.
Okay, well he should take his time, I think.
His Thai curry.
He should take his
That
Thai
sounds better than what I had.
curry.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I wonder, is this still a thing?
I am back with food.
Oh,
Oh, FaZe did it. Got all of his combat classes to 100.
Oh yeah.
How exciting.
Oh, that's been gone for a while. Oof.
Anyways.
Any hoot.
any hoot?
I am so sore. I am so achy.
This poor guy. You poor thing.
It's just gonna be a long week. 2 weeks, actually.
I know, and you're such a hard worker too.
I can't tell if that's condescending or genuine anymore. That's how fried my brain is right now.
It's okay. I think that's just like the average response to me as a person.
I can't tell if you're condescending or genuine.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah. It just kind of be that way.
Okay, Riverbend Hotel, don't fail me, buddy.
Riverbend Hotel. The only hotel where the river bend.
I don't know if this river even do bend. I can't help but laugh at all of your pictures, Freya. I don't even know if that one's any different. It's just making me chuckle.
It's a picture. What do you mean?
It is a picture.
Just stares deeply into the camera.
Ah, no! What is life?
I do hope,
See, that's mainly my picture every time I do leveling stuff because, you know, I always end up in, like, fucking, Stone Vigil or some shit like that. It's pretty accurate.
how curious. I'm trying to be comfortable. Hello, Marchesa.
Anyways.
Good evening.
Easy peasy first
Good
try.
evening. I have to lock in right now.
Also, I still can't help but notice I still don't have more
I'm gonna
health
lock
than
in.
fucking Sid in Castrum.
I hope you are doing well. Oh,
He's
fuck.
level 50, I'm level 100. How do I not have more health?
Level 100 Sid is built different.
I mean, if I use Great Nebula.
Oh my god, I fucked up my hole opener. Wow.
That's great, Crash. Don't fuck it up.
Oh wait, no.
Oh,
me a sec.
Get
golly.
in your position.
I forgot how to do
What's that?
everything. Oh, piss.
Anyways, I can
This is so bad.
protect myself.
I could have rotated back up. Damn. That was terrible. No one look at that.
Oh, I do. Okay, never mind.
Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Kole. Hello. Hello, baby girl. I didn't have chat open, I'm sorry. You are too cute. You are just adorable. Ugh. I feel great tonight. We're gonna have live debate coverage, and I haven't got to do that in a while. I'm so excited. It's gonna be a little scuffed, just because of like my timing here, but you know, should be fun. For now, I'm gonna try to do this correctly.
Bears.
Oh, Coriana. Oh. Okay. No questions. I knew you were gonna pull that shit.
DPSN.
Oh, I should have swifted this. I am such an idiot.
Forza.
I am such a moron. I'm actually really smart.
Bears.
I'm actually very smart. Because I'm not supposed to... I have to stop telling myself that I'm stupid. I'm actually really smart. For sure. Oh my gosh. My camera's all unbalanced here. Have to fix that, perhaps. Okay, we are moving and staying. That's so convenient. North to south.
You got the damage down, but you didn't fall.
I am just so fucking good at being bad. It just
Anyway,
works.
now we're doing this north to south. Supports first, smash.
I should have done this first.
Launch. Launch. Last one will be smash.
Almost 2,000. I like went up, I was like, fuck, don't land on the other one.
Reach yourselves north. We're doing the funny.
The funny.
The
I
funny.
don't want to do the funny.
Well, and I'm not gonna make you.
Let's go.
Serious business.
Anyway, 2 and 4.
Let me not launch myself off the map again. 4. Fun.
Out safe. Free. DPS in. Supports in. Not be going to the same side. Remember where the cat's gonna jump is where you want to be. Not necessarily. Supports in, or supports out first, so DPS in. Supports in.
Ooh, yeah.
We'll just stay here. Group 1 north, Group 2 south, out safe.
Back a bit.
Move.
Well, that somehow worked.
Pot window coming up. Damn it.
North to south again. It'll be DPS taking hits this time. Smash. Start lining up in rolls. Small party. Smash. Line up into rolls. Alright, she's partying up. Next two are going to be launches and rolls. Line up in rolls. Last one, rolls.
Oh, fucking damn it.
Melee will be. Well done.
Nice.
That is my worst run of
Well.
Black Cat I've ever had.
That was,
Mine was interesting.
Decent chance.
Nice.
Of bracelet.
I think I interrupted,
Oh.
2 casts? So embarrassing. I actually used a Holy in White, can you believe it? Everything is
That's
free
so
lot.
nice.
I would say just, unless something is needed by someone for something urgently, now would be the time to speak up.
Not urgently, but I would like the bracelet I picked up, but it's not necessary.
Well, I support your pictomancing endeavors, and I think we should give you the bracelet, so... everyone else pass on the bracelet. I am the loot god. I have decreed that you get the bracelet. Everyone else, you may roll, if you are going to use it, please be mindful of how much extra stuff you've had, etc., etc.
Well, I took 2 damage downs and I still got a purple. I'm happy.
How bad was mine?
I didn't even upload
I'm
mine.
assuming it was a green with how much I fucked
yeah.
up.
You had a green.
What did I have, raid dot number 2?
Hmm?
Huh?
What?
67.
67. Didn't even manage 69.
No, that's fair. That was like a really messy pull. I actually did my opener like entirely incorrectly.
Fucking
Yeah,
rock
my
was
opener
over
got a
here with
little-
a fucking
It was
84
not
though,
good.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Hell yeah, dude.
Rockma pulling the fucking highest out of
Wizard
all of us.
Lizard always showing
Still
off.
Pulling out a fucking 81 on healing too.
Yeah, my opener definitely like.
He is
drifted
always
off a little
showing
bit. I
off.
was like, eh.
I
Oh,
feel
damn.
a little bit in some places.
If it makes you feel any better, Clouds, I did my opener without my buffs up.
What was I gonna do?
Meaning I didn't do my opener.
Meaning the opener got fucked.
I did not have my damage or my speed up. I had a moment where like I popped Vicewinder and Serpent's Ire, and then my brain was like, "Ooh, reawaken time!" And it's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 hold on." Well, now I'm fucked.
Well, now you're fucked.
I had a better parse like 3 weeks ago than I did today.
Yeah, I mean,
I felt pretty good.
that'll happen. it just
I
be
mean,
like that.
Healers are, I mean, we have healers on the literal back end of gear, so
That's
you
true.
are
Yeah.
far more under geared than everybody else.
Oh, this fucking fight.
Group, so.
Wait,
Yippee!
wait.
any sense of feeling capable.
Anyway, get that
navigating
BGM all the
on
way up.
here.
Oh, you're so
No,
right.
I can't fucking wait to do this fight because I went into normal earlier and got absolutely fucked.
Normal is yeah, no, trying to do normal on this fight now.
Dude,
is just
what?
like,
What
oh
is fucking
God.
heart phase normal? Fuck that. Give me Savage again. Normal can make my balls. Anyways.
Anyways,
Oh, we can have the answer. 10 seconds is not optimal.
okay. You know how to play Pictomancer. You know how to play Pictomancer. You're gonna do the opener correctly this time.
No.
Yes, you are. You can do it.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. You're such a sweet boy.
Ah.
Alright, I did it correctly.
So proud of you.
I've proven that I still know what I'm
There's
doing
Rob.
sometimes.
Partners.
Yes.
Me when I submit to my lovely queen. God, I love her. Why'd they draw her like this, bro? God damn it. She's so beautiful.
Well, fuck.
I don't want to go all the way over there.
I'm ashamed. I got a damage node. I'm gonna kill myself.
Dunce cap.
Bro, I got 2 left.
Lol.
Shut your face.
Yeah, shut your face.
Yes, but I just shot you a fucking mechanic that I definitely shouldn't have.
Ugh, can you guys
Well,
stop getting
your
the
mother.
fucking the knot stack first?
Can you just not
I
be
got shit to
offensive?
do over there.
Only in
Probably
white.
past it,
Alright,
bro.
fine. Coriana, switch with me.
Oh, right. I have better item level. Oops.
Oh, Crash is
I
DCing.
clicked my GCD. Oh, wait, no.
I mean, I also had a damage down out
That's
guard.
pretty,
Card.
that's rather curious.
Crash, no.
Out enter. In
This
enter.
dude's inting. I can't believe this.
Anyway,
Oh no.
best of luck, friends.
Can you tell your internet that this is not M3? Internet's only allowed to stop working on M3.
Come on, that's only for Freya, not Crash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crash,
Oh.
Crash's hotel internet has no rules. It's not bound by such.
I
moral concepts.
mean, who's to say?
Yeah, I got it.
I should,
You guys
probably,
What? That was alright.
what the fuck? None of this matters, actually.
Alright, I got it.
Theoretically, we can just drop the stack onto Crash. Unless his character actually logs out, in which case we're in a bit more of a pickle.
We're in a bit of a pickle. One or less stacks health. I think with you only having one right now, it should.
This should work in theory.
Oh,
Okay.
what was that?
Good
stat?
enough.
It actually
worked,
did.
It worked. It worked. It actually worked. In enter.
Why is this working?
That's almost offensive that it works.
It's almost offensive. I'd be mad if I were her.
Out enter. Out card.
I'd definitely be mad.
Goodbye Crash. You'll be missed.
Alright, well there goes our LB.
Oh, Crash.
I don't think we're gonna make this, but you know, we're gonna keep going anyway.
We can get some practice, cause
No, Crash. Nobody can hear you. We are alone. Fucking why?
Oh, yay, Mario Kart, my favorite. Whoa.
The best mechanic in the entire
Just
tier,
respect
right
the
here,
lines.
boys.
Oh, okay, okay.
We're going towards two. We're going towards. Oh my
Okay.
fucking! Why?
Oh.
Run! just
Respect the
run,
lines,
run,
fellas.
Run!
I don't want to stop the line, the line is bitch, the line, the line's
I
line.
have no
Are you guys
fucking
respecting?
anymore.
Oh god.
All right, I think if we just we're just fucking we're giving up. I give up.
You are?
Back here.
Guys, this is the easiest
Back here.
mechanic.
Okay. Guys, we're fine. We're fine. No damage.
I was crossed by like 4 lines. I don't know how I dodged all of them.
Because you're a fucking savage. Alright, you're just the best.
I even like popped knockback and I was just like, oh, they're all missing. Okay.
Now, how do we
Yeah,
do
I
this one
also-
without Crush?
Drop pairs.
All zeros gals, and then the ones go wherever the fuck they feel like.
Let's see what
and we
happens.
take a heart. Fuck, 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 fuck.
This guy's trolling.
Hey, buddy.
Did anybody see what the fuck her
Yes,
cat
pairs.
was?
Who's my obedient little bee?
Not me.
Move.
Why the hell not?
Hello?
Hi,
Hello,
Crash.
Crash. We missed you.
Alright.
Oh my god. Oh.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we will be taking an extra heart at the end of this.
yes, we will.
You guys are still going!
We are in the same poll.
Pairs.
Goodbye, Rock.
I think it might be pairs.
We will be taking a heart now.
You know, at least you gave us
Anyway.
ample warning.
We will need to mitigate this because it's going to hurt a little bit more.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
die. See you guys later.
Goodbye, Rockma.
Oh, hey guys.
Goodbye, everyone,
lost both our
actually.
healers.
We sacrificed our healers. We did.
We don't need them.
Trying
Tank
hard.
res.
Tank res.
I survived. I was just low health.
Victor res forehead.
I was surprisingly doing really good. Anyways, kill wall.
Yeah, that was
Give me that Mountain Dew voltage.
And I accidentally grabbed some of that.
Anyway,
USA
Crash, I know I said I got a
blue
damage
thing.
down, but you didn't need to wipe for my damage. Thank you, though.
I did. So my
Welcome back.
hotel internet not only forced me to sign back in on my PlayStation, even though I signed in 2 days ago, but my down speed is now 16. So we're down a whole megabyte from 2 days ago.
That's 4.
A whole megabyte. I'm legit shouting.
Megabit, if you will.
Well,
What if you just took a mini bite?
Crash, just so you know, the louder you talk doesn't affect the whether it works.
I mean, that depends.
So here's the funny thing. I never lost the ability to hear you guys. So something about Discord's connection was persistent through my PlayStation, even though it technically came offline.
Let's go.
Which is wild.
Speaking of coming offline,
Black magic.
Sorry, Crash, are you back? Are we
Wait,
good?
hold on. What?
black magic.
What just... Okay, anyway.
We were speaking of cum.
Yes, we... I...
Oh,
Oh, God.
Crash, you are the horniest man I've ever met.
What am I doing? I'm standing here.
Bonk, no horny.
You said something about cum, and then we got
These
cum.
Mediterranean boys, I swear.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Anyway,
you made stuff on me now.
kindly don't disconnect this time, Crash. We really need you to not do that.
I'll do my best.
So I just turned into my internet. Flash.
I
spread.
forgot to pop
spread.
actually, so we can fuck this one up.
Just
So that I know.
use your other window. I'm sure... I think top parsers use the second window anyway.
That depends on kill
Do I
time.
look like a top parser to you?
Yes.
And that's also dependent on kill time, and also I'm pretty sure that's ultimate specific due to
I'm not even an
ultimate.
e-girl anymore. I'm an e-woman.
device or whatever. I don't fucking know.
You're Parsephone as far as I'm concerned.
Womp womp.
Yeah, I know. I'll take my
Wait.
jokes and
Oh,
just
it's spread.
go stand with,
Oh, it's okay. I fucking
Why
died
did
anyway.
Hair.
Wait a goddamn minute. Hold on. I didn't get a spread. It didn't give me a spread. I just didn't take anything.
It's pear.
Wait, was it pet? I could have swore it was spread.
Okay.
the first one was
The first
spread.
one.
I saw. You know what?
Seriously.
No, this is
My-
how it is. This is what happens to me. Cause I was like, it's pairs, but then I see Freya running away, so I'm like, it's not pairs, I guess. I'm stupid.
Chase down your gunbreaker. Duh.
Well, cause that's
Honestly, me and
In-
Nox didn't
enter.
really.
that's not how my brain works.
We just lucked into it.
We got lucky.
If I see
Enter.
if I see someone else do something
Outside.
contrary to what I think is happening, I'm just gonna go, oh, I'm wrong.
Nobody else
Even if
could
I'm
ever
certain, I'm just
possibly
like,
be
I'm wrong.
Ever. No, nobody else could ever possibly be wrong.
No, seriously, like that's legitimately my thought process when something like that happens.
Feel that.
It's not like I can think critically in like the 0.2 milliseconds that I have to, you know.
You get that one. Back there, Todd's behind Prayer.
I wasn't in that. Okay, I'm chilling. Oh dear. I'm like the opposite of a parse monkey right now.
This guy stinks.
Anyway, who or let's go to the south.
What if I just don't wanna?
Well, you have the
Oh,
stats.
Jesus
fucker,
fucking
bitch.
yeah. Hang on. Let me see if I can get there today.
Oh, you.
There's a little traffic.
Oh
How
no.
hard?
Oh,
Crash,
Such a
no,
nice little-
why?
There was a lot of traffic.
Okay.
There's a little traffic.
Well,
that
I
was-
was
Let's
safe.
go to the maximum traffic area, clearly.
what did you want from me? I was already down there. My bad. Let me run through fucking 4 hearts just to be in a fucking better place. Shit, my bad, bro.
You should have.
You'll get over it, it's fine.
No, I'm gonna go fucking suicide bomb. 3. I'm suffering. You guys are suffering too.
Now, boys.
If I tell you I love you, will it be better?
Yeah, I love you, my honey, be lovely.
I'll be your queen bee, honey bee, lovely.
Let's go, guys. Hello, family.
I'll be your one and only champion. Why am I trolling?
What's
Alright,
this?
we are full sprinting. We are full sprinting towards 2.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This sucks. This sucks.
That was a very
already.
late
I
call,
was
sir.
Wrong side.
Well,
Yeah, that was also a very late call.
it was
Oh god, there's
really not a great side, to be honest there.
Well,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that one wasn't it.
Yeah.
We're gonna wipe.
It's fine. We got it.
Dude, man, just fucking. Can we just restart?
Yeah. Bunch of people fucking damage down now.
or do I think? I don't know.
I mean, we should. We objectively should.
I know, we really should, but
We have many weaknesses.
Alright. We went because we're not just getting up in time for this.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be completely honest, guys. That was a wipe from, like, the second we had 3 dead.
There. It wasn't really a
After
wipe.
everything else that
Sure.
happened. Like, it's worth resetting.
could we theoretically do it? Yes, but it would be just fucking easier to wipe.
Silly.
I'd rather not see sheer heart attack.
Silly, silly, silly. Food check, gear check, crash check.
I mean, we're pretty close to skipping Ron's
I'm here.
part with perfect.
He's
cooldown.
here.
Uh,
Spread.
No.
This one is pairs. You're gonna be friends.
You're gonna be buddy
What
buddy.
if I don't want to be friends with my partner?
You want to be friends.
Dude,
Be
you're
friends.
so mean to me. What have I done to you?
Oh no.
I'm stacking with the tanks
Do it. You
in
won't.
protest. I want to hold the tank buster.
I mean, you've already done
Do you think
it.
I could
Correct,
survive
or
one
I
like
must
with tempera and like a bunch of shit from Rockma? I feel like I could survive.
Can I hold your buster, sir?
Does rock
No.
I could make it.
None. In enter.
Wait, why am I not using my hammers? Oh my god.
Out enter.
Why are you not using
I
it?
shouldn't be allowed to play this game, dude.
Out
Why do you
card.
guys keep me around?
I don't know.
I missed a hammer, GCD.
Seems like fun.
Oh, missed one whole GCD of your hammer. Oh,
We
no.
can watch you die as Frey and you run away from each other doing a pair.
To be fair, I ran away from her, so, you know, that's no hugs.
I said run away from each
I
other.
was so ready for that for that stack and Freya's like, no, it's spreads. I'm like, oh, it's spreads. Of course.
Maybe I
Why
shouldn't
didn't I
have.
think of that?
Maybe I shouldn't have my chat on party only, but you know, it's fine.
I mean,
Thank you, Clouds. Very kind.
my favorite lizard.
The lizard wizard?
Actually, I think Luna Aquaria is my favorite lizard. She's just so goddamn cute.
Yeah, I have the penalty of being a big male.
Yeah, you're big and chunky.
Why?
I don't know what the fuck just
Okay, we
happened,
can
but-
be in the big lizard corner
Oh.
together.
Oh, in there.
Out
No.
hard.
Or whatever.
Out
You know what I
inter.
meant. Yeah, it starts first now.
Yeah.
So I said so.
Oh no.
By Coriano, you'll be missed.
Also, take your damn aggro back.
Well, you're a bitch.
Well,
ever considered that?
smell like pickles.
My Buncell partner.
Pickles are delicious.
Oh, that's so true.
I mean, I didn't say no, but he still smells like fucking pickles.
Better than
yeah.
smelling like Cheeto dust and perspiration.
That's what you smell like.
No, it isn't.
I don't know.
Okay, please don't suck. Oh, you're gonna suck. Oh, you're gonna suck. Okay, wait, run,
Ah,
run,
shit,
run,
Scoob.
Run, 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 run.
Oh shit, Scoob.
This sucks. Why does it suck? Oh,
I'm
fuck,
not
I
even-
don't
You're
even know.
I'm praying.
Knockback res.
I'm
and
choosing
we're-
to believe in a
we're-
god
we're-
right now.
We're giving up. We gave up.
Oh.
Middle is kind of safe.
Guys, this mechanic is so fucking easy. I don't even...
This fucking mechanic blows.
I got it.
I got res.
If they deleted this mechanic, the fight would be all the better for it.
I didn't even drop a GCD. What the
Perfect
hell? I'm cracked.
Honestly, same. I'm kind of proud of myself.
Dude, you can walk though. You have legs.
Yeah, and you can fucking cast.
Drop.
You don't need to be smelling her fucking coochie to hit her. What do you mean?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You know what? I don't need to be smelling her coochie, but I choose to anyway. As is my right.
I haven't heard the word.
God.
No, I'm not even.
Well,
I'm being chased by AoEs everywhere. What the fuck?
Okay, if I don't get this. Alright.
it's fine.
We will be getting another heart, just so we are all aware.
We need
It is
Skill
pairs.
issue.
So I shouldn't murder my partner.
Uh-huh.
Indeed, it would be purred. I don't know why I was about to, like, dash. I have a heart, I can't do anything. Hi.
Your support means the
You're my
world to me,
honeybee lovely.
everyone.
Okay. Would you like to go back to mid now? Or your pheromone 2, where you fuck the other bee volatiles things?
You're saying so many words, dude.
Thank you, Nox.
You were cooking.
I was not. Clockwise. We're on like roughly opposite sides. Good.
Yo, can I park here? I'm parking here. I can't park here.
It was pairs.
Yep. Was indeed pairs.
Well, that works. Alright then.
y'all know we're just getting started.
If this is not the cringe pattern, I'm not gonna lie. This is, we have huge potential.
DPS go out first.
Okay, okay, okay.
It's pairs.
Out card.
It's cringe. God damn
Out
it,
enter.
Square Enix.
Supports, look for your color tower. DPS.
How could you guys do this shit to me, bro?
Tower. In enter. Out enter. Out card. The board's out. DPS. Look for your color
Yippee!
tower.
I love holy and white.
I mean, worst case scenario, if you use literally all of them, it's like a 0.6 DPS loss. So. Pairs. Wait, you want a melee LB?
I'm in the middle of my burst.
Well, stop
Yeah,
it.
you know, whenever that's done,
I
you
will take it.
Knock that off, would you?
just don't do that.
Oh,
Come
for
on.
fuck's sake. I gotta move again? I gotta move again?
Rotten Heart coming up, get your mitigations ready, she has 2 hearts.
Hate this fight.
I don't have any, I don't have anything. If you could use, make sure you use Heart of Blade. Yes. Mitts.
Don't worry, guys. I got a paint shield.
Get
You guys
healed
like that
up.
shit?
Alright, first are Eternia and Nox.
In.
Now.
Wait for the raid wire to go off and press to heal up. Press to heal up. Okay.
Clouds and Sapphire
Next.
next. Now.
Oh my god, he said my name.
It's incredible. Amazing even.
Get off my stage.
But what if I don't wanna?
Sorry,
What if I
babe.
Healers both
Your
next.
Gotta kill ya.
Go.
Let's go.
Hey.
That shit's cringe.
I need to
Okay.
run to the restroom before we start the next one. So yeah.
Doing this week.
Alright, what do we got going?
Let's find out. So, oh,
go,
Clouds,
let's
you should have... Do you have 3 books? For this?
Yeah, I've already bought it.
Oh, so you're done.
I'm done.
Okay. I did not note that. So yeah, for the glaze, tanks are rolling on that. Everything else is free lot unless someone... No, wait. The feet are going to Rakma. So everyone except Rakma, please pass on the feet.
Just to say it again. The glaze is going to
Glaze is going to
tanks?
tanks, so either of you are welcome to roll on that. You're both even, so you can both grab that.
I'm probably not getting it.
Okay, so Rakma gets
Who
these.
has not rolled on glaze?
Luna got the glaze.
You bitch by 4?
4.
Everything else is free lot. I cannot get the weapon this week, so I will not be rolling on the tome weapon stuff. Because I goofed and forgot to cap last week. Everything else is free lot. I'm gonna leave, actually.
I would really, 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 really love to solve it this week.
So would I, but we will see.
What is it for your main class, Clouds?
Sorry, I'm not
Yes.
paying attention to
Both
chat.
of us, it's for our main classes.
Ready for the debate? Any predictions? Just popping
As
in to say hi
considering
and drop
it's
a like.
still unknown
Ooh,
when we
ooh.
clear 4 and I'm
Well,
the
thank you.
4th in line unless we get turbo lucky.
Come back at 9, because we will have the debate going on.
I gotta run to the restroom. I'll be back in a sec.
I don't have
Oh,
I don't have like crazy predictions. I don't know. part of me is severely concerned. I feel a sense of dread, and I don't know why. Also, hi Zach. I feel a sense of dread. I don't know why, and because this is pretty in the bag for Kamala. What I will say, here's my commentary just to start out. So Kamala's ahead. We know that she's ahead. It does hurt us that the mics are going to be muted for whoever is not speaking, because Trump would look a lot worse if he were able to consistently interrupt. He would look much worse if he were able to interrupt. So don't think I'm watching live. Trump live gives me anxiety. Well, that's why I'm here, to manage your anxiety and rage. But so that does hurt, that he is going to be probably on his best behavior. Because if I'm the Trump campaign, I'm telling them, listen, rein it in, like, be targeted, be focused, right? Don't weave, right? Because he does the weave. So if I'm his campaign manager, I'm saying, hey, listen, don't weave, stay focused, stay on topic. Don't interrupt, don't insult her. Don't suggest that she's not black or whatever. And it's not clear to me if Trump stumbled into success on the Biden debate, or if that was like intentional, because you can see that debate from two perspectives. You can see the angle that Trump won the debate with Biden, or you can take the angle of Biden lost the debate, because they are both literally true, but one implies that one made the other happen, right? So the implication with Joe Biden lost the debate, which is kind of what I was leaning into, or sort of the position that I was leaning on, it also sort of suggests that Trump didn't like come prepared or intelligent. He just like kind of let Biden cook, and it was terrible. And so that strategy worked for him. But Kamala is obviously much more lucid, much more energized, much more normal, like way more normal of a person. And so I don't know. I do know that is what Trump's advisors are telling him, right now. What I don't know is if he's going to actually listen to that, because we know that Trump is he's very spontaneous. He's very acts on his emotions. So it kind of just depends on what happens. If Kamala can get him to, if she can get under his skin a little bit, I mean, that should be the strategy. The strategy for Kamala should be to basically treat Trump like how she treated Mike Pence in the VP debate 4 years ago, which was just kind of belittle him the whole time. Like that really worked. Just belittling Mike Pence works great because it kind of makes him look like what he is. And this actually goes back to a fundamental belief that I share with many leftists in this election, is that the best way to beat fascists is just like to make fun of them, because we've been doing the fear stuff for over 8 years. Since Trump rode down the golden escalator, we've been doing the fear thing. And it kind of works sometimes because fear is a powerful motivator. But what's working more right now is just posting W's, like straight up, because the election is not going to be swayed by 65 plus. It's not going to be swayed by Gen X. It's not going to be swayed by millennials. It's really down to how motivated you can get the youth vote, and the direction that you can funnel the youth vote in. not to discuss us as like a monolith, but you have to especially like, because the youth vote isn't just it's not just the left. It's not even close. Like, young people tend to be more left wing, obviously, but there is a rising number of young disenfranchised men, you know, that feel that social equity is not going to help them because they feel left behind by that. We can discuss about whether those feelings are valid. I don't think that they are, but that is undeniably the emotion of a lot of young male voters right now, and you know, that has to be addressed somehow. Keep us from freaking out during his self-delusional ramblings. Gonna play some Baldur's Gate on Twitch. Oh, nice. I never got into Baldur's Gate too much. I have it. My Baldur's Gate experience was I played a game with some friends, and I played a druid, and I transformed into a cat, and I walked around as a cat the whole time. It was very fun. Hopefully his ego can't handle him being muted and he'll do something even more doofy than usual. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping that happens. My problem right now is like I am worried. Cuz this is going to matter a lot. This is going to really matter a lot. Like, for us to win this, we sincerely need Trump to have like more than a couple like moments that are clippable. We need clippable moments from him, which is to say shit where he, like, you know, lags or stumbles or stutters or says something insane. We need a couple of those. And my concern is that we didn't really get a lot of those in the last debate. And again, a lot of that was because Biden was so spectacularly horrible. So it didn't really give Trump a lot of room to also be horrible. Especially not in the media in the days following, because nobody cared about what Trump said or how he did. Everyone cared about what Biden said and how Biden did. Or actually, really, no one cared about what Biden said. It was really, again, about the performance. So we're in a very different climate, obviously. Like, I think everyone knows that we're in a very different environment now, just because of Kamala rather than Biden. But it shouldn't be understated, because it's not all better. Like, there are some drawbacks to what we have right now. And so I do think Kamala is obviously the favorite to win this debate just on paper, but I don't know. If everything goes as it has been indicated it should go, then I think you see Kamala, you know, not going crazy. She's probably not gonna whip out any bangers. She's probably gonna be, the Palestine stuff is gonna be rough. Here's how, if I'm Kamala's advisors, here's how this works, right? We talked about Trump's advisors. If I'm Kamala's debate prep team, when Palestine comes up, I say that Kamala should respond that when she is elected president, she will demand a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, or if a ceasefire does not go through within, you know, however long, whatever period of time, then she should say that she supports a full weapons embargo, and Israel can keep what they have, but for optics purposes, she needs to support an embargo. I'm not super opinionated on the Israel and Palestine issue. I do think that Israel is demonstrably, objectively going way too far. I don't feel comfortable labeling what's happening there in any direction. And I do think that I'm more agreeing with the idea that, you know, that shit shouldn't be happening. My opinions on the Middle East are basically, whatever is happening over there, I don't know. I do know that our tax dollars don't really have any business, you know, killing kids in the Middle East. I don't really care where that happens. I don't think that America should be paying for anything like that. Which is like such a free and easy opinion, right? It's obviously so much more complicated, but I'm just not. That's not something that I'm super informed about or that I feel super comfortable talking about. But all of that said, I do think that for optics purposes, Kamala really, really, really needs to start talking about a weapons embargo, even if she has no plan on doing it. Like she can say that she will do it, and she can never touch it the second she gets into office. Because I think realistically there's way too much money for her to comfortably be able to have that position. But I do think she needs to publicly at least say, like, we're gonna demand a ceasefire, and if they do not agree to a ceasefire, if Israel cannot make the ceasefire happen, then we will start a weapons embargo. I think that's the only way to go with that. But I am very worried that, I don't know. See, I'm gonna get a little conspiratorial. The media, I think, really wants Trump to win, and I'm not super I'm not super excited about that. But Trump is like free content, so I think they don't want to let that lol cow die, because if Trump loses this election, he's just gone. Like, he's just gone forever. Like, he'll be truth socialing from his toilet for the next however long until he dies, but he won't run in 4 more years. And I think the media would not be sad if they had 4 more years of their cash cow. Because a Trump presidency would certainly be a massive fucking shit show that the media would love to report on. So I'm worried that they're going to ask Kamala about Palestine and not at all ask Trump about Palestine, or Trump is going to say something so amazingly incoherent that it's not even going to matter. Because that question matters 10 times as much as it does for Trump, which it shouldn't, but it does. My friend and I are doing our evil darkest timeline campaign on hard mode. I'm a monk druid. It's been interesting. That sounds interesting. Oops, I have to do something. I've been pinged. Oh, did that not work? Hang on. Fuck. Okay. I'm good.
Oh, right, I equipped a bracelet, therefore my portrait's fucked.
No, I am saddened by this news.
That's right, mine probably is.
Can't believe this. Oh, I don't have ACT open.
I can't believe you've done this.
Can't
Well,
believe
Other people do, it's fine.
No, but I want to see the numbers.
Well, we'll pull up the numbers after this. Anyway, food check, gear check, rets check, funny, portrait check. We killed the red guy.
Yay!
Oh yeah, it's racism time. Let's go.
Oh no, never mind. No more yay!
Oh, racism time. Let's
Oh
go.
yeah, it's racism
Ah,
time.
God, no, I'm gonna make a macro. Oh, it's racism time. Red people racism time.
Watch out, he's gonna blow you.
To smithereens.
No.
No, just blow us.
Oh my god, I have work tomorrow. And the day after that, holy shit.
Best of luck, I guess.
No, I just forgot, man.
Oh, I have more help than
I get so
Sid.
complacent in summer vacation, I'm like, dude, everything's fucking great. I'm like, oh, I have a job.
Box out. Oh yeah, I have to work to make money. Fuck.
So do I, actually. Fun fact.
Behind in red. No, just inherit some massive inheritance from a secret relative you didn't know you had.
Well, there's some lore there, but
4 hits.
I wrote a very eloquent email to my gym teacher coworker today, and she wrote back, "That's fine with me." And then in the next line, "Thanks." And that was the response.
Jesus Christ. There's a stereotype in there about gym teachers writing an email, I feel like.
Yeah, well, I mean,
There's a lot of stereotypes about gym teacher.
I'm not gonna be mean, but they are all morons.
Our middle school gym teacher was a pervert.
Oh yeah, we had one of those too.
Oh,
Well,
fun.
that's pretty
So-
normal, so.
And now it's like, oh, cool. Who would like to come up and do demonstrations? Always picks the same 2 girls because they had big butts. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you are really not subtle about it, dude.
We had a history teacher in, I think, 7th grade who was taking upskirt pictures.
Ah! Dear
We
I
God.
never found out if he had
a-
one of me, but I do know that he had them.
Yeah, in 7th grade we had a. I want to say it was a French teacher. I can't remember.
Out of the light.
Straight up get caught by a student watching porn
Way tin can.
On his-
divination.
TV at
Divination.
school.
In pairs.
Thank you,
To
Gresh.
me, Coriana of my soul. Get it?
Knockback res, pairs. Crash.
Yeah, I fucked up my knockback res, sorry. It came out too
I
early.
just saw you go back and I'm like,
He
well,
do he
there
best.
he goes. 6 hits.
Oh, alright, let me hug Pookie Bear. This is gonna get thing busted.
Ouch. I hurt like a butt
That's
cheek on a
right.
stick, dude.
Oh, what?
Have you not seen that Vine? Brother.
Crash is very
Motherfucker,
old.
Dude, that
Crash
hurt
is very
like a
old.
butt cheek on a stick. Yeah, dude. Come on. Whatever.
That shit
What
is
are
so
your
funny.
chains?
man.
Crash knows all the internet things.
Apparently
I hurt
not.
like a butt
Anyway, chains.
cheek on a stick, dude.
Check the chain.
There's no escaping those adamant links.
Hit your sprint. Go to 2.
Oh my god, this is my spot, guys. Welcome. Welcome to 2.
Box in.
Oh shit. You guys enjoy your stay at 2.
I mean, hey, you didn't have to move for the funny.
I know, and I still interrupted the cast. I'm a special kind
Get
of
ready
special.
to have a short fuse.
You should know that I have a short fuse.
The boards are
You
short.
should know that I have a long fuse.
Whoa.
Behind into spread.
Oh, good heavens.
I got Crash.
Whoa, be
Spreads, friendos. Don't stand on a dead body, maybe.
It was
Oh, dude,
it
that's
was
fine.
fine somehow.
I can't stop you. But
I
you
choose
know,
not to question it.
we need to get people up, move to your spots for fuse field roughly. Stay out of middle. Supports are short.
The infernal fuse field. Hang on, I gotta watch 10 fucking... Alright, I'm here. Have no fear.
Heal up.
No,
Okay,
good heavens.
that was not timed to
Oh.
too quick.
Which just died.
Next. Yeah, that's all I.
My man.
So hurt.
Maybe a second or two too quick.
I see 60k health and then I see 0 and I'm like, well.
Close. It's close.
Don't blow me, sir. I don't want to. I do not consent. All you have to tell the boss, I do not consent, and they can't do it.
Right, but if you were to, would it be his top mouth or bottom
Well, they can
mouth?
still do it. You just get to cancel them on Twitter. I mean X. X dot zombie.
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
X dot gamer.
Bottom mouth seems interesting. Clock's out, by the way. But
Man.
Oh, I fucking graded too hard.
I got res.
nice one.
Okay, I was
Anyway,
thinking about that bottom mouse
behind
head.
him into red. Crash, you're probably
Fine. I'm fine.
Let's go Crash. Mommy's so proud.
Crash. Are you like trying to play with the healer's feelings? Is that what's going on?
No! I popped both of my Heelys.
It has Heelys, let's go.
You see him
Man, those
fucking
were
zooming
fucking
across.
in the 3rd grade. You'd be the fucking coolest fucking elementary schooler. Yep.
This boss sucks, and I hate him.
Yeah, I know. I don't
Have
think
you
the only
considered?
boss-
Okay, so if the boss sucks, but he blows, but he also says he'll blow us, does that mean you're going to blow him instead, so that way he then has to suck, or
Yeah, whatever, man.
I think they're trying too hard for Shadow Fox.
Ooh, she was a little early today. I like it.
That's fancy.
I like it.
the early bus.
Feisty.
Hairs in.
To me, Coriana of my soul. Viera.
That'll be such a great. That'd be such a good voice line if they have it in Ultimate Knockback Res. By the way.
Viera of
Hairs.
my soul. Yes.
Look, Crash. How you doing?
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
6 hits.
Crash to the mechanic, right? No way! That's fucking weird, man. Look at you playing the game well. What kind of shit is
Oh, playing the
this?
game.
I wouldn't say
well.
well, let's not jump to conclusions.
I'm logging off.
I think the hotel
Don't worry,
Wi-Fi
Ariel,
will
it'll
get
do
that
it for you
accomplished
at this
for you.
rate.
No need. You know, you're fine.
The hotel will also log you out of the game so that you don't spend too much time.
Watch your
with the brain.
chains!
Watch your dick, bro.
Check your phone screen.
My dick is fine!
For
I don't
now.
know where we're gonna. I don't know where we were planning to go with this one, but sure.
Alright, there's no escaping these
That's
adamant
just
links, so
all I
make
have
sure
to
you
do.
dodge it.
Anyway, sprint.
What
2.
a-
Oh my god, 2?
No.
Guys, welcome to my corner.
Clocks.
Out.
6 hits.
Guys, you should know something.
You have a short
You
fuse?
have a long fuse. Supports have short. It was the prediction.
It was, I guess. Oh, hi, Close.
Okay.
What is happening?
Behind.
I can't do this fucking mechanic because I'm retarded, that's what.
I'll get crash.
Okay.
I didn't
anyway,
say all that.
we have very
Fucking sick of this shit.
we have very limited time to get
Are
to them
we-
up, but I
okay.
believe in our healer.
Oh Jesus.
We have far
Okay.
less time to get them up now.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know, guys.
We are dead. We don't have
Okay.
enough to keep up.
Okay, dude.
Take my fucking headset off.
There's
Oh.
not enough time
Well,
to
let me hit the
work
fuses.
this.
I think our limit is 2 reses there.
A little bit.
Just hit the
One
fuses.
for each Swifty.
It's not a-
Yeah, one for each swift cast.
I mean, they only have so much
Trying to
mana.
do swift cast and then a hard cast right after is like,
Anyway,
that's a lot.
Gear check, crash check.
I'm
Oh, boy.
present.
Good job, sweetie.
Yes, but do you have your gear repaired?
Thanks.
Are you
It's
you're not gonna
fine.
Are you sure it's not
I
gonna be
checked
42?
it. We're good.
Are you sure though?
Right,
You
like what if
double
it
check,
secretly
you
breaks
triple
on you?
check? Like, come on, we gotta know these things.
Thanks for being further fuel for the fucking gym tomorrow, you know?
If you'd like, I can send you a picture and you can my
Oh
face
my
on it.
god, you work out?
No! Oh my... I'm done. I'm out.
That's really hot.
Love and appreciate you.
Dude, are you sure about that?
Crash is our favorite person to mock sometimes.
You're naturally high charisma.
Lots
Yeah,
out.
that's what that feels like right now.
You do have a really high
I mean,
charisma stat.
automatically means that you can be,
So
mocked.
he is a bard. I knew
It's
it.
quite unnerving.
Oh, god damn
Anyway,
it.
behind into spread. Alright, we will stop. So we can actually kill this motherfucker.
I've been doing fine. I don't know about you guys.
Or,
Oh, I'm doing amazing.
I mean, doing fine is debatable.
Oh no, I'm doing amazing. What do you mean?
When we get through Fuse Field, then I'll say we're doing fine.
No, I was speaking for myself.
Hey, I mean, if we can end up in 2 again to where you don't have to cast.
That'd be pretty good. That would be light epic sauce.
Trade's a bit parched.
If the entire team pots there when he says that, it should just automatically kill him.
Right?
No, I'm more
It
parched
doesn't
than
matter
you.
if it's savage or not, it just automatically fucking kills him. Obviously, 8 pots is going to beat a single pot.
That's, I think that's true. No more distractions.
Pairs, Coriana to the heart thing, yep. Knockback res pairs.
I got to hang out with Coriana so much today. This is like... Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Six hits.
Check your chain.
Scratch. I'm like sitting there waiting for it. Like, when?
He called that like rent was due, bro.
I mean, maybe Bomber owes him some money, so. Just sprint. 2.
That's fucking insane, dude.
No. And logs in.
It's so funny over there.
Did you drop the cast this time? Or
No, I didn't. I turned my brain on for that.
The tip.
Wait, you can do it?
I didn't know you could turn your brain on. That's wild.
Same, bro.
I've been doing it
As long
wrong.
as-
Yeah,
this
us
entire time.
girls usually have trouble with that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think he has a short
Tiki.
fuse. Longs on sports.
Oh,
Oh boy.
alright.
Knockback rest spread.
Knockback wrist spread,
What
yes. thank you,
happened?
Crash.
Fuck!
Goodbye, Coriana.
Well, that's bad news, Bears.
Hit it like a
Alright,
split
we
second
are,
too late.
We are doing a funny. Yep.
Yep.
Damn.
Well, this is gonna be a
I
blast.
think we're gonna be just short.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, we're not
That's
doing
the wipe.
this.
Let me see how far I can get in here.
What's happening? If I
A
could
whole
be
bunch of
so
bullshit.
inclined
I
to
don't
ask,
know why we died there actually. Does anybody like actually know?
Like,
I
does
do not
anybody
either.
have like a genuine answer to that one? I
was
saw
slow
Rockler
getting
got
to
clipped
my
by the
spot,
bomb.
but I was like
but-
against near the wall, so I don't think I was that close.
No, I saw you were like, I think you got hit by like
Yeah, I
one
got
of
hit
the
by the
actual
ground.
bombs. But what happened to the DPS?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I'm pretty sure we were all standing in the right spot.
And maybe I was too close there, just slightly.
Maybe.
I was in the wrong place.
We might have been
All
too
right.
close to you. I don't know. I wasn't.
Food
paying
check,
on.
gear check. I want to kill a red bitch. I want him dead. I want his book. I want my chest piece upgraded.
You're so right for that.
I am out of Mokeka.
Oh dear. I've received a very loud text message. You're out
Alright,
of Mokeka?
Bomber, I've got an idea. If I let you blow me, will you just leave?
Oh dear.
Hey, would you blow me?
Yes.
Alright, fuck that already, anyway.
Oh, that was like not. Never mind. I'm a yes
Boomer
and kind
man.
of girl.
Alright, clocked out has been the same fucking pattern.
It really has.
Holy shit, behind him in the pairs.
That's the first difference.
But why is the shit holy?
Game.
It has game.
Bye, Coriana.
I did a dumb move.
I'll never forget you.
Crash on 5k HP.
That's fine. He took both tank mitts.
What is happening?
I mean, that one I can blame myself for being too close, but
When in doubt, blame Crash
for my own faults.
for everything.
I mean, you're just too handsome. Knock it off.
Crash has 100% fault uptime.
Blaming me for everything just brings me right back to my childhood.
Oh, honey.
Dude, why doesn't he feed his chest mouth? That seems so unfair.
I think that's why. I think that's why he
Chest
loses
mouth.
this fight canonically.
If he fed his chest mouth, he would have
No scoundrel.
Hairs in. Knockback res spread. Six hits. Six beautiful crybaby looking ass hits.
6 hits this
Oh my
time.
goodness.
Cool. So,
Hello, that is a tank buster.
yeah, what's up?
Why is it over there?
Thanks, I'm scared.
Because Freya's got MT.
Yeah,
Ah.
bro, my bad. Thunder damage.
Yeah.
On. That also doesn't help that I fucking screwed up my fucking opener.
Check your chains.
I'm kidding.
That's right.
I'm
But
someone's
I-
on the side.
I
Just
like it
because
when
I
Crash
launched
does
it.
this.
I'm fine. Check your
Well,
force
whatever, man.
What the fuck?
The Italians are stealing your jobs.
What?
Just like the 19
This is an
Talks
Italian
about
job?
What is that?
Rent. 4.
Four. What the cringe?
You're smudging, because it's clocks in.
Oh my god.
I'm smudging.
Die.
What if I didn't want to die? 6 hits.
I'm sure it'll happen anyway.
We're a happy crew tonight.
Alright, can we do the funny mechanic?
We can.
Happy is an
I believe.
overstatement.
Happy, happy, happy.
Let's do the funny mechanic, yeah. Long on sports.
You should know that I have a long fuse. I don't. But I really had you for a second there.
Behind into spread.
Too close. That's what I was.
Spread.
I'm sorry. I was
Oh,
too
my.
close.
Oh, Jesus, why?
Challenger
Like
went
the way-
down hard.
We have no way to get up from that.
No, that's my fault. I'm sorry.
Look at me. I am your tank now.
I was in the middle of a rattling coil and forgot
Wait.
that
We did the mechanic, and then we did.
That's good.
I am terribly
No,
sorry.
that's good.
Alright.
This is the
Wait.
one. Doing it.
I'm going to smack his butt, and we're going to kill him.
Nice.
Box out. Behind into spread. Four hits. Duping.
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 I've been duped.
Just don't be next time, Crash.
Out of the way, Tin Can.
Right in time with the div. It's beautiful. Prayers in. Knockback res pairs. Six hits.
I almost forgot to use my rainbow drip.
Check your chains.
Run. Towards 4. Blocks in. Six hits. Works on sports.
Oof. I don't know how I'm alive.
Behind him into spread.
Dunce Cap. I deserve it.
God damn it!
Him up.
Got res.
I could just motif 3 times in a row during my Dunce Cap and have it not matter at all.
Get roughly to your spot, stay out of mid. Shorts on support. Freya. Rockma.
Oops.
Coriana. Crash. Nox. Clouds. Give it a second. Good.
Okay. We're potting on the stove. He got it.
Biggening himself.
Quadro, you will be staying with your pairs after you get knocked out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. All the way in. Get knocked back into the corner with your pair, stay with your pair. Resolve the bombs first, but make sure you know what you're chained to.
Oh, this shit.
What you're chained to. Get your sprints. Go to 3.
Oh no.
Knockback res into pair. Eight hits on this one.
Is it DPSLB?
Mm-hmm.
User foe. Remember, healers and melees are swapping their waymarks. Don't care about the thing above our head. Start looking at where you'll need to go. Start heading toward your spots. Hairs out. Hairs out. Clouds, 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 clouds.
Shit. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm actually surprised that we didn't make it.
Okay, 8 hits.
No, I made it. It was just I was too low.
Oh, okay. Goodbye. The last hit, bro. Really? That's so disrespectful. So disrespectful.
Oh, I'm sorry to get lag.
Oh no.
No, it's like actual lag and not DCing.
Oh,
No, I mean, we don't have
I'm
enough
so
people
fucking
for this
good luck,
mechanic.
boys.
Towards one, towards one. Yeah, we're dead.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
There was just too much. Too much death happening.
Even more complicated than the last game. I don't even remember the last game.
Don't do that. Right.
That's trash, Red Man.
Good red man.
I mean, to be fair to everyone in here, it's hard to remember how many of those messy mechanics smash together at the end because you're so worried about the big ones, you forget the earlier ones are coming up too.
Oh, TFT. Well, TFT is not really that complicated, so I guess you're right. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't fucking know what you were talking about. But now that I know, I can confirm this game is a little more complicated than TFT. You have to be a little more awake for this. Not by much, because it's only FF14, but you do have to be a little more awake. FF14, of course, the
Hairs out.
silly easy MMO.
Behind into spread.
According to people. I just want to get to the debate, man.
I fucking hate the new Gunbreaker gap closer. Why does it just EA fucking gap closer and not actually, push me forward? God, it's so fucking
I'm
annoying.
excited for this debate. Hi. Welcome. Kind of goofed a little bit here. Not gonna lie.
Blocks in. Knock back res into pairs.
I don't even have it. I must have fat fingered it.
Make sure to get close.
Oh!
Wait, what's this stuff?
Crash didn't have his knockback res and didn't angle himself so he wouldn't go into the wall. 6 hits.
Why am I so bad at hitting this when I'm supposed to hit it?
Check your chains.
Thank you, Crash.
Or if you're me, I should check my fucking brains attached.
Great. I think that's right there. Let's start. Pairs in.
I'm just gonna arch it there.
Sorry, Clouds. My bad.
I got res and clouds.
Poking. Whenever you can, sure. Longs on sports. Behind into pairs. Behind into pairs. Get ready for your fuse field spots. Stay out of mid. APS for short.
Get
Crash. 8. Nox. Clouds. 7, 8. E. Rhea. Rockma. Wait a second. Oriana. Quadro,
Quadro.
it will be with pairs when you get knocked back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. All the way in. Get knocked back with your partner. first. So check your chains. Right after. It's front. Towards 3.
Oh.
I got res.
Knockback res into spread. Knockback res into spread.
Oh my! The challenger went down hard.
8 hits on this one. User foe, remember melees and healers are swapping waymarks. Where you need to be headed to after. Get ready. We're headed towards your marks. Clocks out. Good. 8 hits. Arbor's Barrage.
Oh, I got.
Towards 4, towards 4. Okay. We don't, yeah.
Fuck.
Damn. One bomb is all it takes, man.
And I lost a toe, and that like it's gonna take. That's.
Everybody take a. We're kind of out of time. Let's take our 5-minute break real quick.
Government mandated?
Government man.
Yep.
Can we step out of the instance so I can buy some more Mokeka?
Sure.
picking up all these other medical systems. And like, there's one in a city further east of Cleveland called Ashtabula, and like we're affiliated with it, but we haven't acquired them. So we keep getting this weird stuff where like we bring them onto our systems halfway. So everything that I do has a very formulaic way to it. We answer medical questions to schedule appointments, yada yada yada. Well, they don't. So they just have to know this thing called a visit type, and they just have to know what those visit types are to schedule appointments. So the rollout for this was, oh, you're there to help with registration but not scheduling. And I'm like, I'm there to help with registration but not scheduling. Am I not going to be in scheduling settings? Oh, well, you'll be in scheduling settings, but you don't need to worry about helping with that. And so I questioned this, and I was like, no, that doesn't sound correct. I need to know what the visit types are so I can help them. Oh, there's just too many visit types to write down, but they should be able to figure it out. They're new. What do you mean? So I get here, and lo and behold, I needed to know what the visit.
So anyway, we are so back.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I'm Martha Raddatz. We're live
We are so
from
back.
Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center. The site of tonight's debate, now about 10 minutes away.
And I'm Jonathan Carl here with Mary Bruce and Rachel Scott. The candidates are just off the stage, ready to walk out. They are in.
I'm gonna try to fix my sound here real quick.
I'm sure
There we go.
nominees, the candidates right now are thinking the same thing. They've studied. They're going to go out.
Good.
Open the
This
All
is
right,
working.
Well, then let's bring somebody in who has been there, both debating Donald Trump. And
Hello,
helping him
hello,
prepare for
hello,
general
chat.
election debates. The former governor
Welcome.
of New Jersey, Chris Christie. So Chris, you've helped prepare Trump for this moment several times.
So
he says he doesn't prepare,
let me know
but he actually
what's too loud,
does.
what's too
Bring us
quiet.
into that room right now. What's going on with Donald Trump?
Well, look, at this point, he's
Everything
in
looks
the worst hour
pretty
of,
good
of
for
his prep, because you just have to sit there and wait.
Yeah, true, man.
And wait for the time to come, and they make you get there early, and so he is there. He's not really being spoken to.
He's there.
You know, little small talk here and there, but nobody's trying to
Oh my God.
give him any kind of clues.
So let me ask you
It's
the
go
question.
time.
Here, let me.
Yeah, let me
It's
ask you the
go
question I
time.
tried to ask Tom Cotton. He didn't exactly
go.
give me an answer, but
Little
you
bit.
will. Which Trump is going to show up tonight? You know what I mean by that. Which
There we go.
Trump?
My camera was being funky.
I think
Which
at
Trump?
the beginning of the debate,
It's gonna be the
Trump
normal Trump,
who will show up will be
I
the
think.
calmer Donald Trump. He knows inherently after the 2020 first debate against Joe Biden that the other Donald Trump is not the one that's a winning formula. The question's going to be, will he be able to continue to maintain that approach through questioning by David and Lindsay and through any comments that Vice President Harris makes in his direction? And that'll be the key to how he performs tonight.
And you and I were talking. You helped prepare him for those 2016 debates against Hillary Clinton. He told you
Why,
that he had
bro?
respect for
It's
Hillary
Chris
Clinton,
Christie.
that Hillary Clinton was smart as you were preparing. What about Kamala Harris? We hear
It's
not the
fucking
same.
Chris Christie.
Well, certainly he's not saying that publicly in any way. And I can tell you that in 2016, he would regularly say during the many debate prep sessions that we had with him that Hillary Clinton was smart, that she was a good debater, that she was not to be taken lightly. And I don't think there was ever a moment in 2016 where he took her lightly. I do think he took Joe Biden
Chris
lightly
Christie.
in 2020. And clearly during
Chris
the prep
Christie.
sessions that I had with him, it was very, very difficult to get him to focus.
Like, he's a joke,
on what
though.
Joe
Like,
Biden
why aren't
might
we
or
all
might
on the
not
same page
do
about Chris
in that
Christie being
first
an
debate,
absolute joke
and
of a
I think his
person?
performance in part reflected that.
That's
So
strange,
the question
no?
is going to be, is what he's saying publicly what he really believes? We know that often with Donald Trump, that's performance. But I will tell you that in his 2016
Well, I don't
prep,
know why he's
he was
here, to be honest
serious
with you.
about getting ready for Hillary Clinton. In his 2020
Apparently,
debate
he
prep,
helped
he was completely
Trump prep for
unserious
the
about getting
debates.
ready for Joe
This is the
Biden.
best they could
I think
do, is Chris
performances in
fucking
both those
Christie.
debates reflected
He's
that
cooked, bro.
approach.
This is his debate prep,
All right,
Chris Christie.
Chris Christie, you'll be watching with us. Martha?
And we have about 6 minutes left before the debate.
Fucking
so let's
wild.
bring in Donna Brazil, formerly of the DNC, and Reince Priebus, the RNC. Welcome
Here's
to
some
both
old
of you.
people
and Donna,
for
let's
you
start with
to-
you. You have said
to talk
that
to
Kamala
us.
Harris has to own the future.
Oh,
but
yeah.
she also has to own the past. So how does
This
she
is
do
liberal shit right now.
It's quite easy.
This is lib shit.
Because I do
Kamala
believe that
has
in
to
talking
own
about
the
future.
future.
You draw from your past. You draw from your past
Was
experiences.
Ted Cruz
She
busy?
draws
I think
from
he
how
must
she
have
was
been.
raised, the values that
Feels
was
bad.
instilled in her as a young lady. Look, she is steady on her feet, still in her resolve, and tonight she should
She
talk to the
is.
American people.
We gotta
Sit
be
in their
fair.
living
Kamala's
room,
killing it right
go
now.
to their kitchen table and say, look, I have some ideas that I want to share with you. There's so much that we have done together over the last 4 years, but here's what I think we can do together over the next 4 years. Be positive in her approach and really remind the American people that we don't want to go back to the chaos and the confusion, the disaster that made, of course, the American people go out in droves
She's
in
right.
2020 to fire
We don't
want to
go back to that.
Say, I want
She's
to be
not
a
wrong.
president that
She's
lead
cooking.
all Americans. I want to keep
How do you
us
feel about the
strong
polls
and
being neck
secure,
and neck?
and
I
here's the
mean,
plan
the
that I
polling
wanna
polling
share
is
with you tonight.
like
And
I just
Donna,
can't.
I, of course,
I just
meant,
can't comment on
Biden.
polls.
She has to own up
Polling is
to
not-
the Biden administration's any mistakes they made too.
Polling
and
is
Donald
not
Trump is going to
reliable.
go after her on that.
You know, Martha, they made mistakes.
And
Donald
frankly,
Trump
Kamala
and
is
Mr.
winning
Pence
in
made
most
mistakes,
polls
but you know what?
by-
We focus
by
on
a
our mistakes. We won't focus on all of the
slight
good
margin.
things that we could do together as Americans. I do believe there's something to say about people who are
But polling is kinda
now
useless,
able to work. The people who
ultimately.
can buy their insulin without paying over $1,000.
Never forget that every single poll
$35.
predicted
There's
in
so much
2016 that
good
Hillary
she
Clinton
can
would
talk
win-
about
would
from
win.
the visits that she's made to small towns across this country, large cities across the country. Bring us together. The American people want to be led into the future, not dragged back to another era.
And Reince, I want your thoughts on, you've also prepped Donald Trump for debates back in 2016, I believe. What Donald Trump do you think we'll see tonight? Can he be disciplined about talking about policies and what kind of president he will be?
I don't know that he can.
Well, he certainly can be. I mean, the reality is Donald Trump doesn't have a lot to lose tonight. I mean, his support has
Cautiously
always
optimistic
been
about Kamala winning.
almost unmovable.
We are choosing
the
to be
second piece is
cautiously
the honeymoon, I
optimistic
think,
on
is
this
over
channel.
for Kamala Harris, and you all kind of touched on it with Donna.
The honeymoon is
Kamala
over
Harris
for Kamala
has to
Harris,
answer
for the record.
the state of the economy that she took a role in the Biden administration, the border, you know, her past positions on decriminalizing the border, decriminalizing certain drugs, what her role was in Afghanistan.
Decriminalizing
So
the
really,
border.
the spotlight is on Kamala
What the fuck
Harris
does that even
tonight
mean,
because
bro?
she played a role in the Biden administration. She wants to act like she's not an incumbent. So this is where the focus is going to be. And she's got a lot to answer for tonight. And I think that's where Donald Trump's focus will be and where it
Crazy.
actually should be tonight.
Well, one of the things he wants to do is have female voters look at him. How does he attract female voters after saying things about Kamala Harris? And we'll see how he pronounces that
it's easy.
tonight.
You-
things he said about Kamala
you
Harris.
appeal
that she's
to
dumb as a rock.
the dumbest
That's
women.
not really going to attract female voters, is it?
Yeah,
That's all it
no,
is.
it won't. But I also think that just like he did in the first debate against Joe Biden, I think the formula here
Bro said,
is to
well."
constantly tie Kamala Harris to the
That's
Biden
crazy,
administration,
dude.
which is where Trump is winning
That's
against
so
her on
funny.
the economy, inflation, and all these other problems that we're having. And then sit back and let her talk. Let her
That's actually so
explain
funny.
herself, her past positions, current positions. How does she feel about how Biden has done on the economy? How does she feel about the border? Well, then turn it over and let her talk.
Okay, thanks so much for joining us tonight, Donna and Reince. We're all staying tuned. Can't wait.
And I have to say, as we are just less than 2 minutes away, this is such an extraordinary moment, and especially, Rachel,
Such an extraordinary
when you
moment.
consider that these two people that have been the center of our lives for the last 2 months have never met each other.
Have never even met each other. And Harris said, if you got something to say it to my
That
face.
is
The question
kinda
tonight,
interesting.
does Donald Trump actually go there? He's questioned her racial identity, he's questioned her intelligence as well, or does he stick to the issues? Look, this is the largest audience they're likely going to have in this race. It will be interesting to see if Harris can make clear the stark choice before voters. And where does she decide to land her punches? She can punch hard. Can she
How
do
am
that
I?
while rising
I'm
above
great.
the needling coming her way? But first and
I'm doing
foremost,
great.
are we going to see a handshake
Thank you for
when
asking.
the two of them meet for the first time?
We didn't back
Oh,
in
yeah.
2016 when I did that debate. We'll stand by to see that
I wonder if
tonight
they're
for
gonna
the
shake
first
hands.
time, side to side, together.
That's
And I
crazy.
have my doubts that we're going to see that handshake, but what we are going to see is a spirited debate and perhaps
Oh
the
my
most
God.
consequential general election debate we have ever seen, because almost certainly going to be the last one. So with the stakes so high, the presidential debate just moments away, we have the entire news division keeping an eye on everything. We are going to be fact-checking on our live blog.
Oh,
It's all
fact-checking
gonna
on the
happen
blog.
right here.
Guys, get the
Debate
blog open.
now, just 10
Get that
seconds
blog
away,
open for the
and we will be back
fact-checking,
with our
live
post-game
fact-checking
show
on
as
the
soon as it's over.
news
We are gonna
blog.
toss it right now to David Muir.
That's embarrassing, dude. Fact check him live, you
Tonight, the
cowards.
high-stakes showdown here in Philadelphia between Vice President Kamala
Fact
Harris
check
and
him
former
live,
President Donald
cowards.
Trump. Their first face-to-face meeting in this presidential election. Their first face-to-face meeting ever.
A historic race for president upended just weeks ago. President Biden withdrawing after his last debate. Donald Trump now up against a new opponent.
The candidates separated by the smallest of margins, essentially tied in the polls nationally and in the key battlegrounds, including right here in Pennsylvania, all still very much in play. The ABC News presidential debate starts right now.
This is an ABC News special. The most consequential moment of this campaign. Kamala Harris,
Together, we will chart a new way forward.
Donald Trump,
We will soon be a great nation again.
face to face. Historic.
Historic.
The ABC News presidential debate. Here now, David Muir and Lindsay Davis.
Oh man, this is
Good
exciting,
evening, I'm David Muir,
guys.
and thank you for joining us. For
It
tonight's
really is a
ABC
Marvel
News
film.
presidential debate. We want to welcome viewers watching on ABC and around the world tonight.
Thank you.
Vice President Kamala Harris and
I'm one
President
of those
Donald Trump
viewers.
are just moments away from taking the stage in this unprecedented race for president.
And I'm Lindsay Davis.
is
Tonight's
an
meeting could be
unprecedented
the
race.
most consequential event
That's
of their campaigns, with Election Day now less than 2 months away. For Vice President Kamala Harris, this is her first debate since President Biden withdrew from the race on July 21st. Of course, that decision followed his debate against President Donald Trump in June. Since then, this race has taken on an entirely new dynamic.
And that brings us to the rules of tonight's debate. 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns. The candidates will have 2 minutes to answer questions, and this is the clock. That's what they'll be seeing. 2 minutes for rebuttals and 1 minute for follow-ups, clarifications, or responses. Their microphones will only be turned on when it's their turn to speak. No pre-written notes allowed. There is no audience here tonight in this hall at the National Constitution
That's
Center.
true.
This
No
is an
audience.
intimate setting for 2 candidates who have never met.
President
I don't know
Trump
who
won the
au-
coin toss. He
how-
chose to deliver the final closing
I don't know
statement
if
of the
no
evening.
audience
Vice President
favors
Harris selected the
either
podium
party.
to the right.
So let's now welcome the candidates to
But
the
it is
stage.
interesting.
Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump.
Oh my god. They're just coming out. No fucking... No
Kamala
nothing.
Harris. Let's have a good debate. Thank you.
They shook hands.
Welcome to you both. It's
They
wonderful
shook
to have you. It's an honor to
hands.
have you both here tonight.
Oh.
Good evening. We are looking forward to a spirited and thoughtful debate.
That makes me
let's
so
get started.
happy.
I want to begin tonight with the
Guys,
issue
this
that
is
voters
a great
repeatedly
moment
say
for
is their
democracy.
number one issue, and that is the economy.
This
and
is
the
a
cost
huge
of
moment
living
for
in this country.
democracy.
Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight
Oh
often
my God.
asks his supporters,
We
are
did
you
it,
better
Joe.
off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle class.
Oh, okay. Why? Oh, there we go.
Of the American people.
Okay. Sorry
and
about
that is
the
why I
delay.
imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing. And the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion. One of them is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startup small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations,
Sorry.
which will result in $5 trillion
Sorry about the
to
spreadsheet.
America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month.
Right.
Economists have said
course.
that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class
This is
families
incredibly boring.
in about
Trump looks
$4,000
bad.
more a year.
Look at his
because
hair.
of his policies and his ideas about what should be
Wait, have
the
you guys seen his hair?
backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us
This
back
could just
for
be
all
boring
that
all
we've
night,
done
I
for the
fear.
world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions
Yeah,
of
the
dollars,
shade
as
is a
you know,
little
from
different.
China. In fact, they never
China.
took the tariff off because there was so much
They
money
never
they
took the
can't.
tariff off.
It would totally destroy
I'm not
everything
gonna-
that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions
Oh,
of
wait.
dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation
That's true.
has, which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries.
It's
We
known as
have
that, it's
inflation
country
like
buster.
very few people have ever seen before.
Mhm.
Probably the worst in our nation's history.
Probably.
We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than
That's
they were
true.
just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle
Disaster.
class, but for every class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country
Every
from
class.
prisons and jails,
Even the
from mental
poor's.
institutions and insane asylums, and they're coming in and they're taking jobs.
He doesn't
that are
know- he
occupied
doesn't
right
know what
now by
asylum means.
African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected very soon.
He thinks
And you
that
see what's
people
happening.
coming
You see
here
what's happening
for
with towns
asylum
throughout the
means
United
that they're
States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado.
You look
They
at
are taking
Aurora.
over the towns. They're taking over
Look at
buildings. They're
Aurora.
going in violently. These are the people that she and Biden led into our
Biden.
country, and they're destroying our
They're
country.
coming in from
They're
the asylums.
dangerous. They're at the highest level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast. I created one of the
Okay,
greatest
he's just
economies
saying
in the
shit.
history
He's
of our
not
country.
answering the question. This
I'll
is
do it
great
again
news for
and
us.
even better.
This
We
is
are
the
gonna get
first
to
question.
immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on the economy here.
Well, I would love to.
He didn't
Let's
say anything.
Talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us.
He
the
didn't say
worst
anything.
Unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health
Boo.
epidemic in a century.
He was the best
Donald
president
Trump
because I
left
feel
us
like he was.
the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And
That's
what
actually-
we have done
that's
is
true.
clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook.
Oh, the
A
playbook.
bunch of lies, grievances, and name calling. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025.
I don't think he's
That
listening.
the former president intends
He nodded.
implementing if
He
he
nodded.
were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people
He
want
nodded
a president who
at Project
understands
2025.
the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us.
All right.
And I pledge to you to be a president
good.
for all Americans.
He's about to
President
tell
Trump
us
will
he's
give you a
not.
minute
He
to
doesn't have any
Number one, I have
connection.
nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better
He's
than
gonna
anyone,
say
I
it.
have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's
Brother,
out there. I
you
haven't read it.
nodded.
I don't want to read it
When she
purposely.
said
I'm
it,
not going to read
she
it.
said
This was
he's
a group
gonna
of
do
people that
Project
got together.
25.
They
He
came up
fucking
with some
went.
ideas. I guess some good, some bad. But it makes no difference. I have nothing to do.
knows.
Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and
That's
create a
crazy.
great economy like I did
That's
before.
crazy.
We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the
Some
pandemic
good.
was not since 1917, where 100 million people died. has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic.
We did a phenomenal
We handed
job.
them over.
We had a great person in
country where
charge
the
called
economy
Dr.
and where the
Fauci.
stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic
We
came
did such
in.
a great job.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounced back, and it bounced back and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So, Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse.
That was
Mine
so
would
good.
strengthen the economy.
That was so
what the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates
Oh my
have
God.
described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year
Oh,
would
that's
invite a
bonkers.
recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending
mean-
himself than he is in looking out
I
for
mean,
you.
yeah.
It's just a soundbite. They gave her that to say. Look, I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top
No,
professors,
speak up, speak up.
think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country. It's going to
He
make
said that's a
people wanna be
soundbite.
able
They
to
told
go
her to
and
say
work
that.
and, create jobs and create a lot of good, solid money for our
So
for our
fucking
country.
what, bro?
And just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down on something you both brought up. The Vice President brought up your tariffs. You responded, and let's drill down on this because your plan is what she calls is
He's so
essentially a
funny.
national sales tax. Your proposal
He's
calls
so
for
funny,
tariffs, as you
man.
pointed out here, on foreign imports across the board. You recently said that
Oh
you
my
might
God.
double your plan, imposing tariffs up to 20% on goods coming into this country. As you know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level,
Pardon
costs are
me.
then passed on to the consumer. Vice President Harris has argued it'll mean higher prices on gas, food, clothing, medication, arguing it costs the typical family nearly $4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs?
They're not going to have higher prices. What's going to have and who's going to have higher prices is China and all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years. I was the only president ever. China was
That's not
paying
how
us
tariffs work,
hundreds of
but go
billions
off.
of dollars, and so were other countries.
Okay,
and
other
you know, if
countries
she
were.
doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration.
Uh-huh.
We are going to take in
Okay.
billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else.
It's true.
The
I haven't had
people of
eggs
our
in years,
country
actually.
are absolutely dying with what they've done.
Or bacon.
They've destroyed the economy. And all you have to do is
China.
look at a poll. The polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy was terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response, and you heard what the president said there, because the Biden administration did keep
oh my God,
a
man.
number of the Trump tariffs in place. So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is under Donald Trump's presidency,
Donald
he ended
Trump.
up selling American
She
chips
misspoke. It's
to
over.
China to help them improve and modernize their military, basically sold us out when a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the details of what that requires, focusing on relationships with our allies, focusing on investing in American-based technology.
I'm not
so
gonna
that
lie.
we win the race
I'm zoning
on
out.
AI, on quantum computing. Focusing
Kamala
on
talks,
what we need to do
it's
to
just a
support
little too boring.
America's workforce so that we don't end up having on the short end of the stick in terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy.
What
Everything
philosophy?
that she believed 3 years ago
Brother.
and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change
He
it.
means
And
microchips
it
for,
will be the
computer
end of our
chips.
country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist.
She's a Marxist.
Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21
love her,
million
man.
people, not the 15 that people
I don't.
say.
I am a
And I think it's
liberal
a lot
now.
higher than the
I'm
21.
a liberal now.
That's bigger than New York State.
She's too
pouring in.
good.
And just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these
She's
people
too
coming in
good,
are
man.
criminals. And that's bad for our
She's just
economy,
looking.
too. You know, you
She's
mentioned
winning with
before,
her
we'll talk about
face.
immigration later. Well, bad immigration is the worst thing that can happen to our economy. They have, and she has, destroyed
Good
our
heavens,
country
bro.
with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you'd say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thank you. Lindsay?
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you've often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade. Last year, you said that you were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week abortion ban because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban.
Yeah, this is an
Vice
interesting
President
one.
Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've
That's a
changed
no-brainer.
your position so many times. Therefore,
Obviously.
why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job.
The
but
previous
the governor
governor.
before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her
can't.
vice presidential
I can't,
pick, which I think
dude.
was a horrible
It's too
pick, by the way,
good.
for our country, because he is really out of it.
He's really
But her
doing that
vice
line.
presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also
That's
says
fucking crazy, dude.
execution after birth. It's an execution.
Execution
no longer
after
abortion, because
birth,
the baby
bro.
is born is okay, and that's not okay with me.
How
Hence
is he-
the vote.
where is he
but what
getting
I did
this
is
from?
something for 52 years they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states.
I'm losing it,
And
dude.
through the genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do
God.
that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also.
Something has to
85%
happen
of
with
Republicans
this.
do exceptions. Very important. But we
I
were
mean,
able
I'm
to
sure-
get it,
I'm
and
sure that's
now
gonna be the
states
first thing
are
she
voting
mentions.
on it. And for the first
And if it's
time,
not, I'm gonna be
you're
a little
going to see-
concerned.
Look, this is an issue that's torn our country apart for 52 years.
Oh, yeah.
Every legal scholar, every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative.
I want to
they
talk
all
about where
wanted
he
this
gets this
issue to
line.
be brought back to the states
That
where
it
the
needs to,
people could
you know,
vote.
that
And that's
people
what
hated Roe v.
happened.
Wade.
Now,
The
Ohio,
reason he's saying
the
that
vote was somewhat liberal. Kansas, the vote
is,
was somewhat
the reason he's
liberal,
saying
much
that
more
is
liberal than
because
people would have thought. But each
liberal legal
individual
scholars,
state
like
is
people on the
voting.
left.
It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal
We knew that
government. I did a great
we
service in
wanted
doing it. It took
Roe v.
courage
Wade
to do
codified
it.
because
And the
it wasn't
Supreme
great
Court
grounds
had
in the
great
first place,
courage in
which is the
doing
reason it was
And I
overturned
give
so easily.
tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
So he's very much
There is no
twisting
state
the
in
idea
this
that like
country where it
everyone
is
wanted it
legal to kill a
changed.
baby after it's born.
Everyone
Now,
wanted
does the president
something
wanna
to
give a
happen. It
response to
just
President Trump?
he's
Well, as I said,
you
you're
know.
going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump
Let's do that.
hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court.
Honey,
with
you
the
gotta mention the
intention
9-month
that they
thing.
would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral.
Yeah, you know, first world country things.
And one does not have
Duh.
to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. And I pledge to you, when Congress passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade, as President of the United
I'm
States,
just so
I will
tickled
proudly sign
by
it into law. But understand,
shit.
if Donald Trump
My
were to
God.
be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government.
Thank you, Vice President Harris.
Well, there she goes again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban because we've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting. And it may take a little
crazy.
time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart. And they've wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it
Well,
came
I
to your
won't
desk?
have to because, again, two things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50 and essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of? When they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe.
Yeah,
The
it's
student
such a
loans, and then
catastrophe.
her, I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again. We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea. And how unfair that would have been, part of the reason they lost, to the millions and millions of people that had to pay off their student loans. They didn't get it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness, J.D. And I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me, but I really didn't. Look, we don't have to discuss it because she'd never be able to get it, just like she couldn't get student loans. They couldn't get
Dude,
student loans. They didn't even
this
come
is such
close
an
to getting
easy
student
answer,
loans.
Mr.
They
Trump.
taunted
Just say that-
young people and
just-
a lot of other
just
people
fucking
that had
say
loans.
that
They
you
can
would
never get
veto
this
it.
approved. So it doesn't matter what she says about going to Congress. Well, wonderful. Let's go to Congress. Do it. But the fact is that for years they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government, and we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people.
I like
on
how
abortion.
everything he does is
Vice
something that
President
no
Harris,
one
wanna give you
thought
time
could
to
ever
respond,
happen.
But I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions
interesting.
on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is
Let's
a
go.
woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America.
Thank you.
And understand what has
Thank
been
you,
happening
Queen.
under Donald Trump's abortion bans.
Fucking
Couples
finally.
who
Thank
pray
God she said that.
and dream of
Oh,
having
thank
a
God
family
she said that.
are being denied
I feel
IVF
better now.
treatments. What is happening in our country? Working people, working women who are working 1 or 2 jobs, who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs. Barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, and that is why in every state where this issue has been on the ballot, in red and blue states both, the people of America have voted for freedom.
Vice President Harris,
Excuse me, I
thank
have
you.
to respond. Another lie. It's another lie.
Another lie.
I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization.
I'm
The
losing it.
IVF, I have been a leader.
Another lie.
In fact, when they got a very
Lion
negative
Kamala.
decision on IVF from the Alabama courts,
She just
I
lies
saw
about
the people
me.
of Alabama
No one tells
and
the truth about
legislature
me.
2 days later voted it in.
Why?
I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, they
Fertilization
you should ask,
IVF.
Will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that?
Answer the question with your veto.
You could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably after birth. Just look at the governor, former governor of Virginia. The governor of
You gotta
Virginia
attack
said
this
we
one
put
harder,
the baby
Kamala.
aside, and then we determine what we
You gotta
wanna
get
do
on
with
this
the
a little
baby.
more.
President Trump, thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigration and border security. We know it's
That
an
was
issue
not
that's
a good
important to
interaction.
Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were
She,
tasked by
she
President
was not
Biden
strong
with
enough
getting
there.
to the root causes of migration from Central
I'm gonna be
America.
honest.
We know that illegal border crossings reached a record high in the Biden administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions.
There's
We
not
know
a great
the
there
numbers
there
since
is
then
no
have dropped
like good
significantly.
response to that.
But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration
Like
wait
other
until
than
6
actually
months
getting
before
into the weeds
election
on
to act?
abortion.
And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say
Human
that
beings.
the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime, trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country. That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill?
What
Donald
happened?
Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why?
That's true.
Because he
That did
preferred to
happen.
run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And understand,
Many people are saying this.
comes at a time
Many such
where
cases.
the people of our country actually need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject
just
that
move
is
this
being
over real
raised.
quick.
And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's
Ooh.
a really interesting thing to watch.
It is an interesting thing to watch.
You will see during the
Okay.
course of his rallies,
What's she
he
cooking?
talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter.
The late
We'll
great
talk
Hannibal
about
Lecter.
Windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first, and I pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point,
That
I
was
want to
good.
get your
Well,
response.
I would like to
respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the board.
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there. And then
That's so true.
showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies,
don't
the
leave
most
my
incredible rallies in the history of politics.
Fact
That's
check
because
on this,
people wanna take
several
their
people
country
have been
back.
filmed
Our
leaving
country
Trump
is
rallies
being
while he's
lost.
speaking.
We're a failing nation. And it happened
Okay.
3.5 years ago. And what's going on
thought it
here,
happened
you're
before
gonna end up
that.
in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these
Let me talk about another
millions
random
and
thing.
millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield,
Okay.
Ohio, and ABC
So-
News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well,
All
I've
this,
seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
The people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good
Yeah.
thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
But
television.
the people are
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme. This is, I think, one of the reasons why in this election I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt
Dude,
Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney
So
and Congress member
just to
Liz
say,
Cheney.
I'm incredibly
And
happy right
if
now.
you want to really know the inside track on who the
She
former
literally
president
just
is,
has
if you
to
didn't make it
coast
clear already,
for the next
just ask
hour.
people who have worked with
For
him.
the next hour.
His former chief of staff, a four-star
And she's
general,
good.
has said he has
She's
contempt
done.
for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former
Okay, go
Secretary
off.
of Defense has said the nation, the Republic, would never survive another Trump term. And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric,
I
when
looked at
the
his eyes.
issues that affect the American people are not being addressed, I think the choice is clear in this election.
President Trump, I'll give you a quick minute to respond
Yeah.
here.
Thank you, because when I hear that,
Time to start
see, I'm a
cooking.
different kind of a person. I fired most of those people.
We know.
Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job. I fired them. They never fired one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people who's were just killed, viciously and violently killed. And I got to know the parents and the family. They didn't fire. They should have fired all those generals, all those top people, because that was one of the most incompetently handled situations anybody has ever seen.
He was, like, fading out
when
of
somebody
reality,
does
I
a bad
think.
job, I fire him. And you take a guy like Esper. He was no good. I fired him. So he writes a book. Another one writes a book. Because with me, they can write books. With
Another
nobody
one
else
writes
can
a
they?
book.
But they have done such a poor job, and they never fire anybody. Look at the economy. Look at the inflation. They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you. But just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican in history by far. In fact, I got more votes than any president, sitting president, in history by far.
Okay.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you wanted to talk about earlier, so let's get back to your deportation proposal that the vice president has reacted to.
I think
as
Trump
well.
is higher than
President
me.
Trump, you call this the largest domestic
That's kinda
deportation
rough.
operation in the history of our country. You say you would use the National Guard. You say if things get out of control, you'd have no problem using the U.S.
With local
military.
police.
With
You
local
also said you would
police.
use local police.
I love local
How would
police.
you deport 11 million
My beautiful
undocumented immigrants? I
boys.
know you believe that number is much higher. Take us through this. What does this look like? Will authorities be going door to door in this country?
Yeah. It is much higher because of them. They allowed
Oh,
criminals,
yeah.
many millions of criminals. They
Millions
allowed
of criminals.
terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country. And they're now in the United States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow. And I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the
I've never
fabric
seen
of our
this,
country.
claiming a
Millions
conspiracy
of
and then
people
saying it's not
let
even
in,
a good
and all
idea.
over the world. Crime
I would
is
have done
down
it
all over
much
the world
better.
Except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof.
Fraudulent
and we have a new form
statements.
of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI
Nobody thought
says
it was
overall
possible.
violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse me,
President
the
Harris, I'll
FBI
give you
they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud. Just like their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing. And let's be clear where each person stands on the issue of what is important about respect for the rule of law and respect for
That
law
was pretty
enforcement.
good.
The former vice
Chat,
president
that was
called
pretty
for
good.
defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this,
Get
on the
this.
day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's talk about what is important in this race. It is important that we move forward, that we turn the page on this same old tired rhetoric and address the needs of the American people.
I love being a
Address
liberal.
what we need to do
Being a liberal is
about
the
the
best.
housing shortage, which I have a
You guys
plan
should
for.
all be
Address
liberals.
what we
Look at how
must do
happy
to
I am
support our small
at this
businesses.
milquetoast Democratic
Address bringing
candidate.
down the price of groceries. But frankly, the American people are
Did you see that
exhausted
shit?
with this same
What
old
the
tired
fuck is he
playbook.
doing?
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized
called
the Justice
weaponization.
Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of New York and the DA of New York. Every one of those cases. And then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total
Well, he was
victory.
essentially
2 months
guilty.
ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election.
President
They're
Trump,
fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Well, let's talk about extreme and understand the context in which this election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled
Oh.
that the former president would essentially be
Hi,
immune
Sile. I don't know if
from
that's how
any
you say your name.
misconduct if he were to
I'm not
enter
checking
the White
Discord,
House again.
sis, so-
Understand, this is someone who has openly
Shout out to you,
said
though.
he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he
Yeah,
would
he did
weaponize
say that.
the Department of Justice against his
How quickly we
political
forget.
enemies. Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails, because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people.
JD
to stop him.
motherfucking Vance.
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized.
They let him say
I
it.
probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy
President
with a fake Russia investigation
We do have a lot
that
to get.
went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that
Yeah,
your
this is cringe.
values have not changed.
You're
so then
cringe.
why have so many of your policy positions
You're
changed?
cringe.
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss every
Policies
one of
changed
at least
over
every
time.
point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States, and in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking. My position is that
We don't love
have got
fracking,
to
for the record,
invest
but you don't win
in
Pennsylvania
diverse
unless
sources of energy
you
so
are
we reduce
in favor
our
of
reliance
fracking.
on foreign oil.
So,
we have
say
had
levy.
the largest increase
Fracking is
in
also not
domestic
like the
oil
worst thing in the
production
world. Like it's not
history
great, but it's not.
because of an approach
it's
that
not the
recognizes
worst.
that
So
we
it's-
cannot
it is what it
over-rely
is.
on foreign oil. As it relates to my values, let me tell you, I grew up a middle-class kid
We don't
raised
love
by
fracking.
a hardworking mother who
But
worked and
it's
saved
acceptable.
and was able to buy our first home when I was a teenager. The values I bring to the importance of home ownership, knowing not everybody got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, is a value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders to increase 3 million homes, increase by 3 million homes by the end of my first term. My work that is related to having a friend when I was in high school who was sexually assaulted by her stepfather. And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value that is deeply grounded in the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable. My work that is about protecting Social Security and Medicare is based on long-standing work that I have done, protecting seniors from scams. My values have not changed. And what is important is that there is a president who actually brings values and a perspective that is about lifting people up and not beating people down and name-calling. The true measure of the leader is the leader who actually understands
So the good news
strength
is,
not in beating people
I'm
down,
zoning
it's
out.
in lifting people up. I intend to be
It's
that
not
president.
bad. It's just boring.
Well, first of all, I wasn't given $400 million. I wish I was. My father was a Brooklyn builder, Brooklyn, Queens, and a great father, and I learned a lot from him. But I was given a fraction of that, a tiny fraction, and I built it into many, many billions of dollars, many, many billions. And when people see it, they are even surprised. So we don't have to talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police. She's been against that forever. She gave all
She's been
that stuff
against
up
defund the police?
Very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now, if you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar? She went out in Minnesota and wanted to let criminals that killed people,
Oh.
that burned down Minneapolis.
He did not cook.
She went out and raised money to get them out of
Wow,
jail.
he fumbled that.
She did
Oh,
things that
no.
nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do
Oh, no.
transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal that would do this. She wants to confiscate your guns, and she will never allow
Dude, that was
fracking
a
in
combo
Pennsylvania.
breaker.
If she won the election,
He fucking one-two'd that shit. They're transing people. They're transing the illegals in prison.
I got the oil business going like nobody has ever done before. When they took
Dude,
over,
I can't. That's so
they got
good.
rid of it, started getting rid of
That's
it,
so good.
and the prices were going up the roof. They immediately
They're transing
let
the
these
the
guys
illegals
go
in
to where they
prison.
were. I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times
Four-
higher because you're
four
talking about
times,
3.5
5 times
years ago.
4.
They got it up to where I was because
5.
they had no choice because the prices of energy were
4
were
times
quadrupling
5
and doubling. You saw what happened to gasoline.
is
So
20.
they said, let's go back to Trump.
Times
but
4
if she won
is
the
80.
election, the day after that election, they'll go back to destroying our country.
So
and
80.
oil will be dead. Fossil fuel will be dead. We'll go back to windmills and we'll go back to
Oil
solar.
will be
They
dead.
need a
Fossil
whole
fuel will be
desert
dead.
To get some energy to come
We're
out.
all gonna
You ever
die.
see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of solar, but they take
Okay.
400,
President
500 acres of desert
President
soil.
Trump, we have a
These
lot
are
of
not good
issues
things
that we
for the
have to get
environment,
to.
as
We're
she
out of time.
understands.
Thank you.
Lindsay, thank you. We have an election in just 56 days. And I want to talk about the peaceful transfer of power, which, of course, we all know is a cornerstone of our democracy and the role of a
Well,
president
you
in a
would
moment
think.
of crisis. Mr. President, on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them. The country and the world saw what played out at the Capitol that day, the officers coming under attack. Aides in the West Wing say you watched it unfold on television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than 2 hours before you sent out that video message telling your
Petrodragonic
supporters to go
apocalypse.
home. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
You just said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically. And nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country and killing people that she allowed to pour in? She was the border czar, remember that. She was the border czar. She doesn't want to be called the border czar because she's embarrassed by the border. In fact, she said at the beginning, oh, I'm surprised you're not talking about the border yet. That's because she knows what a bad job they've done. What about those people? When are they going to be prosecuted? When are these people from countries all over the world, not just South America? They're
This is
coming
really
in from
bad for him.
all over the world.
This is
David.
really bad for
all
him.
All over the world. And crime rates are down all over the world because of it.
But let me just
when
ask
are those, David, when are those people going to be prosecuted? When are the people that burned
This is
down
not good for him.
Minneapolis going to be prosecuted?
It's going
Or
very
in
well.
Seattle. They went into
Chat,
Seattle.
it's going
they took
very
over
well.
a big percentage of the city of Seattle. When are
This
those
is
people
more or
gonna be
less what I was
prosecuted?
talking about.
But let me just ask
You might ask her that question.
You
At the
were
start.
the president. You were watching it unfold on television. It's a very simple question as we move forward toward another election. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? Yes or no?
I had nothing
Thought I
to
saw
do with
something.
that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington, D.C., and the mayor put it back in writing, as you know.
Nancy Pelosi.
I said, you know, this is going to be
Sexy
a very
Nancy.
big rally.
That's
or
what I
whatever you
always
wanna
called
call
her.
it. And again, it wasn't done by me. It was done by others. I said, I'd like to give you 10,000 National Guard or soldiers.
Nancy
They
Pelosi is a
rejected me.
MILF.
Nancy Pelosi rejected me. It was just 2 weeks ago. Her daughter has a tape of her saying
And
she
I'm
is
not
fully
sorry.
responsible for what happened. They want to get rid of that tape. It would have never happened if Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs. I wasn't responsible for security. Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her
So
job.
this is
The question
again,
was about you
they're
as
still
president,
doing the
not
talking
about
point
former Speaker
of
Pelosi, but I do want Vice
January
President
6th wasn't that bad. They were patriots, and actually, if it
I
was
at the
bad,
Capitol on January 6th.
I
was
it's the Democrats'
vice
fault
president
somehow.
elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there, and on that day,
Okay.
the president of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital, to desecrate our nation's capital. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died. And understand, the former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic
we need to move on from Charlottesville,
hate.
I think.
And what did The president then at the time
Yeah,
said
it was very fine people
there
on
were
both
fine
sides.
people on each side.
Yeah, we know.
Let's
we need
remember
to
that
do something
when
else.
it came to the Proud Boys, a militia.
Wrap that one up.
The president said, the former president said, stand back and stand by.
Yeah, yeah. No,
so
I know.
for everyone
But he's done
watching
more
who
stuff
remembers
recently.
What January 6th was. I say we don't have to go back.
Scott the Waz?
Let's not go back. We're not going back.
What the fuck?
It's time to turn the page. And if that was a bridge too far for you, well, there is a place
I love Scott the Waz.
in our campaign for you to stand for
Just in case you
country,
were wondering.
to stand for our democracy, to stand for rule of law, and to end the chaos, and to end the approach that is about attacking the foundations of our democracy because
Okay,
you don't
I
like
agree.
the outcome. And be clear on that point. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this
did
election
say
is
that.
not to his liking. Let's turn the page on this. Let's not go back. Let's chart a course for the future and not go backwards to the past.
Let me just follow up here.
It was a different term, and it was a term that related to energy because they have destroyed our energy business. That was where bloodbath was. Also, on Charlottesville, that story has been, as you would say, debunked. Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Jesse, all of these people.
All the best
they covered
people.
it. If they go an extra sentence, they will see it was perfect. It was debunked in almost every newspaper, but they still bring it up, just like they bring 2025 up. They bring all of this stuff up. I ask you this. You talk about the Capitol. Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come
This
she's
is
not
why
doing
I do
anything?
believe
And
that
I'll
we
tell
need
you
to
what
move
I would
on from
do,
the
and I would be very proud
very
to do
fine
it.
people.
I would say we
Because
would
nobody
both
cares
leave
about that
this
anymore.
debate
And Trump's just
right
going to say,
now.
that's not what I said.
I'd
And
like
no
to
one
see
even
her go
remembers what he
down
said.
to Washington, D.C. during this debate because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington, D.C. and let her sign a
lipstick was
bill
being
to
weird.
close up the border.
Don't mind
Because
me.
they have the right to do it.
Don't
They don't
mind
need
me.
bills. They have the right to do it. The President of the United States, you'll get him out of bed, you'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll say, come on down to the office, let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has
That's
to do
crazy,
is say it
dude.
to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight. I do want to focus on this next issue to both of you because it really brings us this into focus, truth in these times that we're living in. Mr. President, for 3.5 years after you lost the 2020 election, you repeatedly falsely claimed that you won, many times saying you won in a landslide. In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by
Mr.
a
Former
whisker,
President.
that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that?
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in
He did say
2020?
I don't acknowledge that at all.
But
I
you
said
did
that
say that.
sarcastically.
But
You know
those-
that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically. Look, there's so much.
If you haven't
truth.
seen that
All you have to
context,
do
it
is
very
look
much
at
did
it.
not have a
And they should
sarcastic
have sent
tone.
it back to the legislatures for approval. I got almost 75 million votes, the most votes any sitting president has ever gotten. I was told if I got 63, which was what I got in 2016, you can't be beaten. The election, people should never be thinking about an election as fraudulent. We need two things. We need walls, and we have to have it. We have to have borders, and we have to have good elections. Our elections are bad. And a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote. They can't even speak English. They don't even know what country they're in practically. And these people are trying to get them to vote. And that's why they're allowing them to come into our country.
I did watch all of these pieces of video. I didn't detect the sarcasm, lost by a whisker. We didn't quite make it. And we should just point out here as clarification, and you know this, you and your allies, 60 cases in front of many judges, many of them
No
Republican.
judge looked at it.
And said
They
there was
said
no
we didn't have
widespread fraud.
standing. That's the other thing. They said we didn't have standing, a technicality. Can you imagine a system where a person in an election doesn't have standing? The president of the United
Please
States
press him harder on
doesn't
this.
have standing. That's how we
Please
lost.
press him harder on
If you
this.
look at the facts, and I'd love to have you'll do a special on it. I'll show you Georgia.
Do a
and I'll
special
show you
on it.
Wisconsin, and I'll show you Pennsylvania, and I'll show you. We have so many facts and statistics, but you know what? That doesn't matter because we have to solve the problem that we have right now. That's old news. And the problem that we have right now is we have a nation in decline, and they have put it into decline. We have a nation that is dying, David.
Mr. President, thank you. Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by whiskers. So he still believes he did not lose the election that was won by President Biden and yourself. But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, we won't let Donald Trump intimidate us. We won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States.
That was good.
Who
very
attempts,
demoralizing.
as he did in the past,
very deflating.
to upend the will of the voters.
Very
in a free
infantilizing.
and fair
That was good.
election. And I'm going to tell you,
He needs
that
to be treated like a child.
I have traveled the world
It
as
makes him
Vice
look
President
ridiculous.
of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have
is true.
talked with military
Many such
leaders,
cases.
some of whom worked with you.
Many such
and they
cases,
say
by the
you're
way.
a disgrace.
Because he is.
And when you then talk in this way,
Sorry,
in a
I'm
presidential
getting
debate and deny
I'm getting into it.
what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did in fact lose that election. It
Yes,
leads
Mommy.
one to believe
Yes.
that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact.
He's just looking
That's
around.
deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
I'll give you 1 minute.
Oh my God, bro.
Let me just say about world leaders. Viktor Orban, one of the most respected men, they call him a strong man. He's a tough person, smart. Prime
No.
Minister of Hungary.
No,
They
baby.
said, why is the whole
No,
world
honey, a strongman
blowing
is a
up? 3 years
fascist
ago
term.
It wasn't. Why is it blowing up? He said, because you need Trump back as president.
Oh, baby boy.
They were afraid of him.
Victor
China
Orban
was
is not who
afraid,
you
and
want in your
I don't like to use
corner.
the word afraid, but I'm just quoting him. China was afraid of him. North Korea was afraid of him. Look at what's going on with North Korea, by the way. He said Russia was afraid of him. I ended the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, and Biden put it back on day one, but he ended the XL pipeline. The XL pipeline in our country, he ended that. But he let the Russians build a pipeline going all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected,
Orban.
most feared person is Donald Trump. We had no problems when Trump was president, but when this weak, pathetic man that you saw at a debate just a few months ago,
That's
that
so
if he
fucked
weren't
up.
in that debate, he'd be running instead of her. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got
President.
14 million votes.
Dude,
They
what
threw
the
him
fuck,
out.
bro?
She got 0 votes. And when she ran, she was the first one to leave because she failed. And now she's running.
Like,
I don't
that's so
understand it, but
obvious.
I'm okay with it
Mr.
because
President, your time is
I
up.
think we're
Thank
going to
you.
do very
They
well.
so obviously like each
Turning
other.
now
Yes.
to the Israel-Hamas war and the hostages who are still being held, Americans among them.
Like,
Vice
Kamala
President
and-
Harris in
and
December,
Joe
you
clearly
said, quote, Israel has a
are
right
chill
to
with each
defend
other.
itself, but you added, quote, it matters how, saying international humanitarian law must be respected. Israel
That's
must
crazy,
do more to
dude.
protect innocent civilians. You said that 9 months ago. Now an estimated 40,000 Palestinians are dead.
All
Nearly
right,
100
everyone brace for
hostages
impact.
remain. Just last week, Prime
This one's
Minister
gonna be
Benjamin
rough.
Netanyahu said there's not a deal in the making.
We're gonna have some
President
turbulence
Biden
here.
has not been able to break through the
This one's
stalemate.
not gonna be
How
great.
would you do it?
Well, let's understand how we got here.
Okay.
On October 7,
Oh.
Hamas, a terrorist organization, slaughtered 1,200 Israelis. Many of them young people who were simply attending a concert.
Is that so?
Women were horribly raped.
Gosh, I
And
don't
so
know how I've never heard
absolutely,
about
I
this.
said then, I say now. Israel has a right to defend itself. We
Smudged
would.
my glasses.
And how it does so matters.
We definitely would.
Because
I'm not gonna lie.
it is also true, far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed.
We would.
Children, mothers. What we know is that this war must end.
Okay.
It must end immediately, and the way it will end is we need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out.
Okay.
And so we will continue to work around the clock on that. Work around the clock, also understanding that we must chart a course for a two-state solution. And in that solution, there must be security for the Israeli people and Israel, and in equal measure for the Palestinians. But the one thing I will assure you always,
We have to arm
I
them
will
both.
always give Israel the ability to defend itself, in
Fuck.
particular as it relates to Iran and any threat that Iran and its proxies pose
why?
to Israel.
Why would
but
you
we
say that?
must have a two-state solution
would you say
where
that?
we can rebuild Gaza.
Why would you say
where
that?
The Palestinians
You were
have
so
security,
close. You were so
self-determination, and the
close
dignity
to
they
being
so
home
rightly
free.
deserve.
President
were so
Trump, how would
close.
you negotiate with Netanyahu
You were so
and
close.
also Hamas in order to get the hostages out and
was
prevent
so
the killing of more innocent civilians in Gaza?
If I were president, it would have never started.
It wasn't
If I were
that bad.
president,
It wasn't
Russia
terrible.
Would have never.
She is not
ever-
winning
I know Putin very
the-
well. He would have never. And
So,
there was no threat of it either. By the
we don't
way,
have
for
to listen
4
to what
years,
Trump said, right?
Have gone into
Um,
Ukraine and killed millions.
What
of
I said
people,
prior,
and you
I'll-
ended up
I'll
far
reiterate,
worse than people understand what's
I
going
said
on
this
over there. But when she mentions
a few hours
about
ago when
Israel,
stream
all of a
started.
sudden, she hates Israel.
but-
she wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress.
She needs
to make a very
to-
important
she needs
speech. She
to-
refused to be there because she was at a sorority.
She needed to
party
not
of
say that
hers.
she is
She wanted
always
go
going to
the
give weapons to
sorority party.
Israel.
She hates Israel
because that's
If
going to
she's
really
president, I believe
upset
that Israel will not exist within 2 years
a large
from now. And I've
chunk
been pretty
of-
good at
of
predictions,
the
and I hope
political
I'm
left.
wrong about that one. She hates Israel. At the same time, in
Frankly,
her own
I don't
way,
care
she hates the
about
Arab
this issue. It's not a deal
population
breaker for me, but it's a deal
because
breaker for a
the
lot of
whole
people.
place is going to get
So she needed
blown
to be
up.
a little
Arabs,
less intense.
Jewish people, Israel will be gone. It would have never happened. Iran was
And it doesn't
broke
actually matter
under Donald
anyway,
Trump.
because
Now
Trump
Iran
is
has
just claiming that she hates
$300
Israel
billion
anyway.
because they
So
took
she
off
might as
all the
well
sanctions that I had.
she might as well put
Iran had
forth
no
a
money
position
for
that's like
Hamas
questionable
or
on
Hezbollah
Israel.
or any of the 28 different spheres of terror, and they are spheres of terror.
It's
horrible
kind of
terror.
it's kind of
They had no money. It was a
complicated.
big story, and you know it. You covered it very well,
Mitch,
actually.
but-
They had no money for terror. They were
That's
broke.
more or less.
Now they're a rich nation, and now what they're doing is they're spreading that money around. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the
Houthis.
Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself. It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're
That's
so
true.
clear. They can manipulate
That's
you
true.
with flattery and favors. And that is why so many military leaders who you have worked with have told me you are a disgrace.
Look at the way
That
he's
is
standing.
why we understand that we have to have
Wow,
a
that was
president
crazy.
who is not consistently weak and wrong on
Vice
national
President
security,
Harris.
including the importance of upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
And she's the one that caused it. That's weak on national security by allowing
He's still
every
not-
nation
yeah,
last
I mean,
month for the year.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't
168
looking
different
super close, but
countries
I'm pretty sure
sending
he
people
looked at
into
her
our country.
when they shook
Their
hands.
crime rates are
Kamala
way
went to
down.
him, and he
Putin
couldn't like.
endorsed her last
He
week.
actually shook her
Said, "I
hand.
hope she
That
wins." And I
that was
think he
really
meant it.
interesting.
Because what he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened
Incredible.
with me. The leaders of other countries think that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline?
They
and
could have gotten
approve
away with
the
only an
single
hour of this.
biggest deal
Trump's
that
getting a little
Russia's
boring.
Ever made Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline anywhere in the world,
It's
going
getting
to
a little
Germany
dry.
and all over Europe.
Something's
Because
got to
they're
happen
weak
here.
and they're
We're on the last
ineffective.
half hour.
And Biden, by the way,
President
gets paid
Trump,
a lot of money.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to get to.
We'll be right
I
back
don't know
with
if I
much
can-
more
oh.
of this historic ABC News presidential debate from the National Constitution
Okay.
Center right here in Philadelphia.
We're taking
Back
a
in
break. All right.
The ABC News presidential debate will continue after this.
Okay. Well,
Why
Well,
is America
folks.
except at the wake for payday?
that's it sure is happening, huh? My God. Have I slipped down, or is my camera silly? I don't know. Yeah, this is well, I will say that it's going very well for us. I think that much is clear. So I'm pleased. I'm certainly pleased. My only issues, my major issues so far, here are some fumbles, right? They should have gone a little bit harder on Trump's particular repeated sort of talking points. I do like how hard they went on the election denial stuff. I think that was good. I think Kamala won early with her expressions, like, alone. I think just suggesting while Trump is talking that he is an insane person just by, like, looking confused. Because genuinely, that's my fucking reaction too. Like, when bro was cooking, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Some great bangers from him for us, some little nuggets that he dropped, just gifts to us. Illegal immigrants are gonna come and eat your dog. No one asked. Like, 0 people asked. And he said, immigrants are gonna come and eat your dog. And that they're transing the immigrants in prison. So, I mean, it doesn't... doesn't get better than that, really. That's, yeah. For the last, I guess, like, I don't know how long they're gonna go. It's supposed to be an hour and a half. It has to be the first time that sentence was ever said, ever. Yeah. You're probably right about that. I really want to know where he got that. I'm kind of intrigued about that shit. But I'm also so grateful that the moderator immediately was like, okay, so the authorities of the city have reported that 0 incidents happened of that. My hair is a mess right now. I'm a messy girl. So yeah. I'm decently satisfied. I don't know what they're gonna how much if they're gonna come back and it's gonna go for 90 minutes total, because that would be only 10:30. But I don't know if they're gonna run if that's including the break. I don't know. But however much is left, I do need Kamala to not say anything else about Israel or Palestine for the rest of the night. Let's just cap it where we, enough said. Okay. Because we know that you're not going to do what we need you to do. So let's just move past that. But the rest of it was good. Everything else was good. Solid, at least. And we had some bangers as well. Oh, we are back. Oh gosh, and we're lagging again.
Lives that are being uselessly, people being killed by the millions. It's the millions.
I think we missed
it's
a bit.
so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more.
Okay.
Because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars when I said, either you pay up or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons they don't like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's happening. We're in for 250 to 275 billion. They're into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin, hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other.
He is right about this, I fear.
That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately,
because I think he can help
our
Putin make something
country
happen.
has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left. I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it wasn't, because Biden had no idea how to talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it. And now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David. We're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know if he's... Where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they
here...
threw him out of a campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president? But we have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
Your time is up. Just to clarify in the question, do you believe it's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
That was the question.
Negotiate a deal, because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
I want to take this to Vice President Harris. I want to get your thoughts on support for Ukraine in this moment, but also as Commander-in-Chief, if elected.
Where
how would you
is
deal
he?
with Vladimir Putin,
No
and
one
would it be
knows
any
where he
different
is.
from what we're seeing from President Biden?
Well, first
No
of
one
all,
knows where
it's
he
important
is.
to remind the former president you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me. I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. And that's not who we are as Americans. Let's understand what happened here. I actually met with Zelensky a few days before Russia invaded, tried through force to change territorial boundaries, to defy one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity. And I met with President Zelensky. I shared with him American intelligence about how he could defend himself.
Okay.
Days later, I went to NATO's eastern flank, to Poland and Romania. And through the work that I and others did, we brought 50 countries together to support Ukraine in its righteous defense. And because of our support, because of the air defense, the ammunition, the artillery, the javelins, the Abrams tanks that we have provided, Ukraine stands as an independent and free country. If Donald Trump were president,
This is true, I
Putin would
fear.
be sitting in Kyiv right now. And understand what that would mean, because Putin's agenda is not just about Ukraine.
That's a good twist.
Understand why the European allies and our
That's
NATO
good.
allies
I like
are
that.
so thankful that you are no longer president, and that we
I like that line. That was
understand
good.
the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO, and what we have done to preserve the ability of Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Vice President Harris, thank you. We've heard from both of you on Ukraine tonight. Afghanistan came up in the last hour. I wanted her to respond to something you said earlier, and I'll give you a minute here.
That was crazy.
Putin would be sitting in Moscow.
That was
and he
hard.
would have lost 300,000 men and women, but he would have been sitting in Moscow. Quiet, please. He would have been
Quiet,
sitting
please.
in Moscow, much happier than he is right now. But eventually, you know, he's got a thing that other people don't have. He's got nuclear weapons. They don't ever talk about that. He's got nuclear weapons. Nobody ever thinks about that. And eventually, maybe he'll use them, and maybe he hasn't been that threatening, but he does have that. Something we don't even like to talk about. Nobody likes to talk about it. But just so you understand,
call it the
they
N-word.
sent her to negotiate peace before this war started. 3 days later, he went in and he started the war because everything
The
they
N-word.
said
You
was
know what the
weak
N-word is?
and
It's nuclear.
stupid. They said the wrong things. That war should have never started. She was the emissary. They sent her in to
The
negotiate
emissary.
with Zelensky and Putin.
It's a big word for you, sweetie.
And she did. And the war started 3 days later.
That's 'cause
And
she did
that's
bad,
the kind
Grandpa.
of talent we have with her. She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country. But let me tell you something. She is a horrible negotiator. They sent her in to negotiate. As soon as they left, Putin did the invasion.
President Trump, thank you. You did bring up something. You said she went to negotiate with Vladimir Putin. Vice President Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin? Can you clarify tonight?
Yet again, I said it at the beginning of this debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fellow. And that is another one. When I went to meet with President Zelensky, I've now met with him over 5 times. The reality is it has been about standing as America always should, as a leader upholding international rules and norms, as a leader who shows strength, understanding that the alliances we have around the world are dependent on our ability to look out for our friends and not favor our enemies because you adore strongmen instead of caring about democracy. And that is very much what is at stake here. The President of the United States is commander-in-chief. And the American people have a right to rely on a president who understands the significance
just say
of
also,
America's role and responsibility.
Her tone and
in terms of ensuring that there is
diction are
stability
really good
and
today.
ensuring we stand up for our principles
She
and not
she
sell
she
them
sounds
for
very
the-
professional.
for the
She sounds like
benefit
herself, but
of
she sounds very
personal flattery.
professional.
We've talked about Ukraine and
Her-
Vladimir
her
Putin.
tone
I
has
do want to talk
changed a
about
lot.
Afghanistan. It came up in the first
She's-
hour.
she's
of
a
this
lot less
debate.
whimsical here.
I want to move on to Afghanistan.
But it's very
Trump
flat
did
and
the
it's
most
very
amazing thing I've ever seen.
it's very
He
professional.
got these countries, the 28
It's working
countries
very well
at the
for her
time,
here.
to pay up. He said, I've never seen. He's the head of NATO. He said, I've never seen. For years, we were paying almost all of NATO. We were being ripped off by European nations, both on trade and on NATO. I got them to pay up by saying one of the statements you made before, if you don't pay, we're not going to protect you.
President
Otherwise,
Trump.
we would have never gotten it. He said it was one of the most incredible jobs that he's ever seen done.
Thank you. I want to turn to Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of the debate, and we witnessed a poignant moment today on Capitol Hill,
Afghanistan.
honoring the soldiers who died in the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. I do want to ask the Vice President, do you believe you bear any responsibility in the way that withdrawal played out?
Ooh.
Well, I will tell you, I agreed with
That
President
sucks.
Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4
Me too.
presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did.
Yeah.
And as
there
a
you go.
result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war.
Yeah.
And as of today,
That's
there is
good.
not
I
one
like that. That's
member
good.
of the United States military who is in active duty in
This
a
is good.
combat
This is a
zone
good
in
response.
any war zone around the world, the first time this century. But let's understand how we got to where we are. Donald Trump, when he was president, negotiated one of the weakest deals you can imagine. He calls himself a deal maker. Even his national security advisor said it was a weak, terrible deal. And here's how it went down. He bypassed the Afghan government. He negotiated directly with a terrorist organization called the Taliban. The negotiation involved the Taliban getting 5,000 Taliban terrorists released. And get this, and the president at the time invited the Taliban to Camp David, a place of storied significance for us as Americans, a place where we honor the importance of American diplomacy, where we invite and receive respected world leaders. And this
That's crazy.
former president, as president, invited them
This
to Camp
former
David
president.
because he does not again appreciate the role and responsibility of the President of the United States to be commander-in-chief with a level of respect. And this gets back to the point of how he has consistently disparaged and demeaned members of our military, fallen soldiers, and the work that we must do to uphold the strength and the respect of the United States of America around the world.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, your response to her saying that you began the negotiations with the Taliban.
So, if you take a look at that period of time, the Taliban was killing our soldiers, a lot of them, with snipers.
A lot of them.
And I got involved with the Taliban because the Taliban was doing the killing. That's the fighting force within Afghanistan. They don't bother doing that because, you know, they deal with the wrong people all the time. But I got involved. And Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems. And he said, why do you send me a picture of my house? I said, you're going to have to figure that out, Abdul. And for 18 months, we had nobody killed. We did have an agreement negotiated by Mike Pompeo. It was a very good agreement. The reason it was good, it was we were getting out. We would have been out faster than them, but we wouldn't have lost the soldiers. We wouldn't have left many Americans behind, and we wouldn't have left.
Don't do it, Abdul, please.
$85 billion worth of brand new, beautiful military equipment behind. And just to finish, they
Holy shit.
blew it.
Oh my
The
fucking
agreement
God.
said you have to do this, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. The agreement was terminated by us because they
I can't
didn't
fucking believe
do
this shit.
what they were supposed to do.
I want to move
And
on.
these people did the worst withdrawal.
I wanna move
and
on
in
too,
my
but he
opinion,
is
the
cooking.
most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And by the way, that's why Russia attacked Ukraine, because they saw how incompetent she and her boss are.
President Trump, thank you. I want to move on now to race and politics in this country. Mr.
Oh,
President,
good.
you recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight.
This is
Why
good.
do you believe it's
This is
appropriate
good.
to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something, I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm
I don't
asking.
know. I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was.
I don't know.
That she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
I think
Trans
it's-
ally
I
Trump.
mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. You know, I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was land, he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the
This is
same
true.
individual
This is
who
correct.
took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States.
That's true.
And I think the American people
He did do that.
want better than that, want better than this, want someone who understands, as I do, I travel our country. We see in
He
each
can't
other
fucking look at
a
her, man.
friend. We see in each other a neighbor.
It's crazy.
We don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? Knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
Vice President Harris, thank you. Lindsay?
President Trump, this is now your 3rd time.
This is the most divisive
Dude,
presidency
They just let
in
him
the history of our country.
fucking do whatever
There's
he
never been
wants.
anything
That's
like
actually
it.
really
They're
interesting.
destroying our country, and they come up with things like what she just said. Going back many, many years, when a lot of people, including Mayor Bloomberg, agreed with me on the Central Park 5, they admitted, they said, they pled guilty. And I said, well, if they pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty. But this is a person that has to stretch back years, 40, 50 years ago, because there's nothing now. I built one of the greatest economies in the history of the world, and I'm going to build it again. It's going to be bigger, better, and stronger. But they're destroying our economy. They have no idea what a good economy is. Their oil policies, every single policy. And remember this, she is Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman, she says. She is Biden. The worst inflation we've
Famously,
ever had.
Kamala Harris
horrible
has
economy
said
because
that she doesn't know
inflation
who
has
Biden
made it
is.
so bad, and she can't get away with that.
Thank you. Your time is up, Lindsay.
I want to respond to that, though. I want to just respond briefly.
Okay.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new
Okay.
generation of leadership for our country.
Okay.
One who believes in
That's a good-
what is
that's a good
possible.
direction.
One who brings a sense of
like
optimism
this.
about what we can do instead of always disparaging the American people. I believe in what we can do to strengthen our small businesses, which is why I have a plan. Let's talk about our plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan to give startup businesses $50,000 tax deduction, to pursue their ambitions, their innovation, their ideas, their hard work. I have a plan, $6,000 for young families for the first year of your child's life, to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan that is about allowing people to be able to pursue what has been fleeting in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. That's the kind of conversation, I believe, David, that people really want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name-calling. Let's turn the page
Vice President
and move
Harris,
forward.
thank you. Let's turn to policy.
President
Let's
Trump,
turn back
we
to
have
policy.
to move on. President Trump.
Let's turn to policy,
She
please.
has a plan to defund the police. She has a
Why
plan
turn his mic
to
on?
confiscate everybody's gun.
President
Why?
She
Trump,
has
we do
a
have to
plan
move
to
on to
not
other
allow
issues.
fracking in Pennsylvania
turned his
or
mic on?
anywhere else.
Okay. Thank you,
That's
Mr.
what her
President.
plan is until just recently.
I just need
Lindsay,
to
go ahead.
respond
No,
because
Trump,
the
President
former
Trump.
president has
No,
said
I'm
something
sorry.
twice that I need to
No,
respond to.
I'm sorry.
I
We're
just
gonna
need to
move on,
respond
Vice
one
President
time
Harris.
to what he has
President
said
Trump, this
multiple
is
times.
now your
Yes.
3rd time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as
Good
Obamacare.
Lord.
You have failed to accomplish that. You now say you're going to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better. Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after you first started running, do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care, always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it and we're going to replace it. But remember this. I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous. They wouldn't vote to change it. If they would have done that, we would have had a much better plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats came up. They wouldn't vote for it. I had a choice to make when I was president. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, never going to be great, or do I let it rot? And I felt I had an obligation, even though politically it would have been good to just let it rot and let it go away. I decided, and I told my people, the top people, and they're very good people. I have a lot of good people in that administration. We read about the bad ones. We had some real bad ones, too, and so do they. They have really bad ones. The difference is they don't get rid of them. But let me just explain. I had a choice.
Let me just explain.
Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, or do I let it rot? And I saved it. I did the right thing. But it's still never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it. But until then, I'd run it as
I don't
good
understand
as it
what
can be
his
run.
angle is
So
here.
just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now. But if we come up with something,
Well, I'm glad
I would
that he
only
admits
change
that.
it if we come up with something that's better
That's
and less
good.
expensive. And there are
That's a good
concepts and
thing, probably.
options we have to do that. And you'll be hearing about it in the not-too-distant future.
Vice President Harris, in 2017, you supported Bernie Sanders' proposal to do away with private insurance and create a government-run healthcare system. 2 years later, you proposed a plan that included a private insurance option. What is your plan today?
Well, first of all, I absolutely support, and over the last 4 years as vice president, private healthcare options. But what we need to do is maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act. But
Yes.
I'll get to that, Lindsay. I just need to respond to a previous point that the former president has made. I've made very clear my position on fracking. And then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Okay.
As it relates to the Affordable Care Act, understand, let's just
Interesting
look at
angle.
the history to know where people stand. When Donald Trump was president, 60 times he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. 60 times. I was a senator at the time when I will never forget the early morning hours when it was up for a vote in the United States Senate. And the late, great John McCain, who you have disparaged as being, you don't like him, you said, at the time because he got caught. He was an American hero.
Ain't no way a
The late,
Minnesotan would
great
take
John
guns.
McCain,
No, you're
I
right.
will never
That's exactly
forget that
true.
night. Walked
That's
onto
exactly
the
true.
Senate floor and said, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you
The
don't
late,
get
great
rid of
John
the Affordable
McCain.
Care Act. You have no plan. And what the Affordable Care Act has done is eliminate the ability of insurance companies to deny people with pre-existing conditions. I don't have to tell the people watching tonight, you remember what that was like? Remember when an insurance company could deny if a child had asthma, if someone was a breast cancer survivor, if a grandparent had diabetes? And thankfully, as I've been vice president and we over the last 4 years have strengthened the Affordable Care Act, we have allowed for the first time Medicare to negotiate drug prices on behalf of you, the American people. Donald Trump said he was going to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices. He never did. We did. And now we have capped the cost of insulin
That's
at
true.
$35 a month. Since
That's
I've been
good.
vice president,
That's
we have
huge.
capped the cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And when I am president, we will do that
That's
for
good.
all people,
That's huge.
understanding that the value I bring to this is that access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. And the plan has to be to strengthen the Affordable Care Act, not get rid of it, pass
like
its
this.
prologue
Harris,
in
thank
terms
you.
of where Donald Trump
That's very
stands on
good.
that.
I want to move
That's
to
very
an issue
good.
that's important for a lot
That's
of
very,
the
very
state.
good.
At number one, John McCain fought Obamacare for 10 years. But it wasn't only him. It were all of the Democrats that kept it going. And you know what? We can do much better
You
than
know what?
Obamacare. Much less money, but she won't
Much
improve
less money.
private insurance for people, private medical insurance. That's another thing she doesn't want to get.
President
People
Trump-
are paying privately for insurance that have worked hard and made money, and they want to have private. She wants everybody to be on government insurance where you wait 6 months for an operation that you need immediately.
President Trump, thank you. We have another issue that we'd like to get to that's important for a number of Americans, in particular younger voters, and that's climate change.
She just
President
said
Trump,
the
with
exact
regard to the
opposite.
environment, you say that we have to have clean air and clean water. Vice President Harris,
losing
you
it.
call climate change an
I'm losing
existential
it.
threat. The question to you both tonight
I'm
is
losing it a
what
little
would you
bit.
do to fight climate change? And Vice President Harris, we'll start with you. 1 minute for you each.
Well, the former president had said that climate change is a hoax.
That's true.
And what we
It
know
is a
is that it
hoax.
is very real. You ask anyone
Oh.
who lives in a state who has experienced these extreme weather occurrences, who now is either being denied home insurance or it's being jacked up. You ask anybody who has been the victim of what that means in terms of losing their home, having nowhere to go. We know that we can actually deal with this issue. The young people of America care deeply about this issue. And I am proud that as vice president over the last 4 years, we have invested $1 trillion in a clean energy economy while we have also increased domestic gas production to historic levels. We have created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs while I have been vice president. We have invested in clean energy to the point that we are opening up factories around the world. Donald Trump said he was going to create manufacturing jobs. He lost manufacturing jobs. And I'm also proud to have the endorsement of the United Auto Workers and Sean Fain, who
True.
also know that part of building a clean energy economy includes investing in American-made products, American automobiles. It includes growing what we can do around American manufacturing and opening up auto plants, not closing them like happened under Donald Trump.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
That didn't happen under Donald Trump. Let me just tell you, they lost 10,000 manufacturing jobs this last month. It's going, they're all leaving. They're building big auto plants in Mexico, in many cases owned by China. They're building these massive plants, and they think they're going to sell their cars into the United States because of these people. What they have given to China is unbelievable. But we're not going to let that. We'll put tariffs on those cars so they can't come into our country because they will kill the United Auto Workers and any auto worker, whether it's in Detroit or South Carolina or any other place. What they've done to business and manufacturing in this country is horrible. We have nothing because they refuse. You know, Biden doesn't go after people because supposedly China paid him millions of dollars. He's afraid to do it. Between him and his son, they get all this money from Ukraine. They get all this money from all of these different countries. And then you wonder, why is he so loyal to this one, that one, Ukraine, China? Why is he? Why did he get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? Why did she pay him $3.5 million? This is a crooked
mayor of Moscow's
administration,
wife.
and they're selling our country down the
He hasn't
tubes.
said that in a
President
long
Trump,
time.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be right back with closing statements from both of our candidates. An
Okay.
historic night, this ABC News presidential
Oh my
debate
God.
from Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
I'm exhausted. I'm fucking exhausted. I might actually like get up and do
The
a lap.
ABC News presidential debate will continue after this.
Oh God. I think I'm actually just gonna like.
Why has America accepted the wait for payday? When life doesn't wait for you to get paid. Introducing MyPay from
Do you guys
Chime,
wanna watch these
a
ads?
revolutionary new way of getting your pay when you want. Get up to $500 of your pay before payday. No interest, no credit check, no
You wanna watch?
mandatory fees.
You wanna watch ads with me, chat?
When any day is payday, it's a good day. Get paid when you say with MyPay. Get started at Chime.com.
Nobody knew I existed. But look at all these people. Who do you think they see me?
You're Joker. I'd do anything for you.
People believe Arthur Fleck to be some kind of martyr.
Wow, this is
Well, he's not.
You don't think this is me?
This looks like a great product.
Rated R.
Rated R.
At Simply Safe, your safety is the only thing that matters.
we designed smarter ways to detect motion.
Yeah, it's
for
Lady
fast
Gaga.
emergency response.
She's in.
We create
She's
HD
in there.
cameras so you could see what's happening in your home from anywhere. All powered by Fast Protect technology. Exclusively from SimpliSafe for faster police response.
My God.
Now install our advanced system your way. Have a pro set it up or easily do it yourself. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Best thing to watch to go
John,
to
what are your
bed.
like must-haves in a man?
I'm very picky about a man being a gentleman, somebody who's generous, and also somebody who's humble.
Whoever that guy is, we want you to be happy.
I want to propose a toast. Thank you so much for all your support. You guys have been the best family in the world. I'm not here to replace Dad. I just want our family to be whole again. Cheers to a great adventure.
Is that what this is? Oh, okay.
ABC News, honored for excellence with
know.
40 Emmy nominations. Mornings, evenings, late night, weekends, streaming 24/7.
That was so
40
white.
Emmy nominations. Thank you for making ABC News America's #1 news.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
Huh.
Nobody knew I existed.
Oh, it's
But look
it's
at all
Joker
these
again.
people. Who do you think they see me?
Do you guys remember this one?
You're Joker. I'd do anything for you.
Do you guys see this one?
People believe Arthur Fleck to be some kind of martyr. Well, he's not.
You don't think this is me?
I think this is
Rated R.
I think this is
Why
Joker.
has America accepted the wait? Why has America accepted the wait for payday?
I'm Joker.
When life doesn't wait for you to get paid.
No.
Introducing MyPay from Chime, a revolutionary new way of getting your pay when you want. Get up to $500 of your pay before payday. No interest, no credit check, no mandatory fees. When any day is payday, it's a good day. Get paid when you say with MyPay.
I'm a little
Get
blasted
started
right
at
now.
chime.com.
Restaurant bread, stale policies, no cheddar. Cheddar Bay 2024 is here to clean up the crumbs. Come in now for a chance to win 4 years of free Red Lobster, because one bite can unite all parties, at least for dinner.
Red Lobster. I want to go to Red Lobster. Is there a Red Lobster near me?
Good morning, America.
Are you ready? Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here.
You don't just see it, you
is
feel it.
important.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too. I'll be there.
I am here and so
I'm fucking starving right now.
Michael, George, Clara, Ginger.
We don't
Sure.
have a Red
This
Lobster.
prints business cards. But we also
I think
print
we just don't
these
have Red Lobster
and
in
those.
Massachusetts.
And engrave that. We print your brand on everything so customers can
I mean,
notice
you know, we have,
remember
like-
you, and
we have,
fall
like,
in
good
love with you.
seafood.
If you need it, we
But
print
I
it with
think we don't
25% off for new customers at
There's a
Vistaprint.com.
single Red Lobster in
Live from the
Massachusetts.
National Constitution Center in Philadelphia,
Huh.
Pennsylvania. Here again, David Muir and
That's really
Lindsay
interesting.
Davis.
Welcome back tonight. The time has come for
Well,
closing
anyway.
statements, and Vice President Harris, we begin with you.
Wrap this up
So
real
I
quick.
think you've heard tonight two very different visions for our country. One that is focused on the future,
Mhm.
and the other that is focused on the past, and an attempt to take us backward.
True.
But we're not going back.
We're
And I
not
do
going
believe
back.
that the
We're
American
not
people
going
know
back.
we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And
We
we,
might
can
be going
chart
back.
a new way forward.
Say I love you.
And a vision of that includes having a plan, understanding the aspirations, the dreams, the hopes, the ambition of the American people, which is why I intend to create an opportunity economy, investing in small businesses, in new families, in what we can do around protecting seniors, what we can do that is about giving hardworking folks a break and bringing down the cost of living.
Hell yeah.
I believe in what we can do together. That is about sustaining America's standing in the world and ensuring that we have the respect that we so rightly deserve, including respecting our military and ensuring we have the most lethal fighting force in the world. I will be a president that will protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do.
Real.
I'll tell you, I started my career as a prosecutor. I was a DA, I was an attorney general, a United States senator, and now vice president. I've only had one client, the people. And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on what we can do over the next 10 and 20 years to build back up our country by investing right now in you, the American people.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump?
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix
not
the border.
the president.
They've had 3.5
Stupid
years
son
to
of a bitch.
create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it, and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like we're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have
I can't
done
tell
to
if
our
he's getting
country,
worse.
and maybe toughest of all,
But
is
he's
allowing
just saying
millions of
anything
people to
right
come
now.
into our country. Many
None
of
of
them
it
are
is
criminals,
correct.
and they're destroying
Like, he's
our
just
country.
saying
the worst
whatever.
president, the worst vice president
It's really
in
bad.
the history of our country.
President Trump, thank you. And that is our ABC News presidential debate from here in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center. I'm Lindsay Davis.
And I'm David Muir. Thank you for watching here in the U.S. and all over the world, and from all of us here at ABC News.
Yeah, his closing statement was just about Kamala Harris. So that was very kind of him.
And we are here live on ABC with
Oh my
our
God, he
post-debate
booked it.
comments. I'm Martha Raddatz. It was a lively debate from the economy to abortion to Afghanistan. They had it all,
Wow.
and it was historic, John Carl, fiery.
Huh.
Wow. 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 That was quite a debate.
Well, so what do we think? Just to recap before I go, because I am so tired. Like, I am fucking exhausted. I really want a quesadilla, but I don't know if it makes sense to make one right now. But I really want one. Anyway. That was very good. I think it's obvious that Kamala Harris won that. I for one think Trump be yapping. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of that. I think Kamala did a good job, and Trump said the same old shit he's always been saying. It's basically, that is basically what I said. You know, like when I started stream, that this was sort of the expected outcome, and we are still in the good timeline, because Kamala Harris wasn't crazy, like, exciting. There weren't there weren't that many moments where I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, I was super into her mocking Trump, right? Because it landed and it made sense and it worked. I think it worked very well. That said, I think the worst thing for us, notably, was her robust defense of Israel. I don't think she has to back off of Israel completely. I do think she has to be a little bit harder on Netanyahu, especially because he's not even popular in Israel. Like, it's time to move on from that connection of Israel and Netanyahu, because I think that's doable, and I think sort of giving that pressure, indicating that pressure verbally would have been a good move for her. I do think the best possible move for her, which is a massive long shot, but her saying that she would not send any more weapons to Israel, that obviously would have been the best for her in terms of swaying voters. And she did not say that. She kind of doubled down on the Israel defense thing, which, again, I don't personally really care about, and I don't think people in my chat are particularly upset about that. Or not upset, but it's not a deal breaker for us. It's not a deal breaker for me, because I know that Trump would do the same thing. So it's not a deal breaker for me, right? Trump would be worse, if anything. If it was different at all, it would obviously be much worse. So yeah, we don't love that response from her, but it kind of is what it is. At this point, you know, we're not going to move her today. We're probably not going to move her tomorrow, but she's better than the other guy. And I'm not going to do electoralism in my chat right now. But I think people know sort of where I stand on that. But all in all, I think that was a very good performance for Kamala Harris. Trump was a little worse than I thought he was going to be. Trump was a little worse than I thought he was. I thought he was going to be bad. He was a little worse. He was a little worse than bad. It was rough. Oh, it's Tim Walz. I love that man. He's so jolly. Anyway, yeah. The thing about Trump is that he really had to be normal. He had to be normal. And he was so weird. He started talking about eating dogs and transing immigrant prisoners, and none of this was prompted. Like, he just started talking about that stuff, like, for fun, just because he wanted to. So that's very good for us. Trump looked like an idiot, like an asshole, and that's great. So yeah, I would say, I mean, shit, I'm pretty fucking satisfied with tonight's debate. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna go celebrate. Celebrating is maybe a little much. It wasn't like a knockout, right? Like I said, Kamala didn't like go crazy on him. She had a lot of good moments, but she didn't like go crazy or anything, right? Obviously. So yeah, God, I'm like, my throat is dry and it's terrible. I've been talking for so many hours. We had a 4-hour stream today. That's a not common. Uncommon Persephone W with the long ass fucking stream. All right. Well, turn a little music on, and I'm going to end stream because I can barely talk anymore. So, thank you so much for joining. If you haven't already, please remember to like, comment, and survive. I mean, subscribe. But you guys are probably already subscribed. You guys are good. You guys are good. I'm not too worried about you guys. So yeah. My voice is really fucking... My voice is done talking today. So, good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Check out my Linktree. And I'll see you soon. I hope. We hope.